Well, hello there, everyone. I'm Matthew, the Dungeon Master here on Stories to D4, and I'm really glad you decided to join us tonight, or if you're watching on YouTube, over on our channel for our session. We've been having a lot of fun here on the channel, and last week was a doozy, and I'm really excited to both recap a little bit here for you at home, and also kind of talk with our players here to see how they're feeling before we jump back into things. Before we catch up with all of them, I want to really quickly thank you for stopping by, and also give a brief shout out to one of our favorite and closest fans here, Pause, who just recently decided to join our Discord, which is absolutely free for anyone who's watching here on the channel or over on our YouTube. They've been incredibly supportive of the channel and are a dearly beloved connection to one of our players here. Oh, I don't think you can see you. Let's go ahead and bring everyone out here. Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Now, I know some of you did the homework assignment and brought good hats.
Yeah.
Now, the homework assignment I didn't tell you about, but I'm very proud of the two of you.
Defiant good.
Can I turn
Hey.
my plate for a 70?
This was made by someone.
Please
very
do not
interesting.
get degrees here on Stories to D4, unfortunately. Before we do any sort of session recap, we'll talk about last week in just a little bit. I kind of want to check in with you guys. We know last week there was a dragon. There was this dragon, to be specific.
Last week was stressful.
Last week was stressful. We had an opportunity, and I do mean opportunity, not just a chance. We had an opportunity to have not just a big high stakes encounter, but we got to see some actual serious inter-character tension. Not everyone at home has played or is playing in Dungeons & Dragons or other tabletop role-playing games. Still caught it, still fine. And so it may not be immediately obvious, but these sort of arguments in character are a part of the game that can come up at some tables. This isn't actually a representation of any sort of animosity, though we will be having a Jake Clella cage match at some point in the future.
Please bet on me. Call him
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The Mad Magus is Clella's actual nickname.
I wish I had a valid argument on why I could win, but I don't.
But so the essence of this is, hey, you're going to be seeing some occasional disagreement and arguing between these player characters. Know that this is part of the game. We experience highs and lows of the emotional spectrum here in our role play. So before we get on to, recap, how you guys doing?
I decided to match the dragon today so that I can kind of blend in.
I also have dragons on my clothes, so
light scale.
Oh, it's rude.
Wow.
I'm trying.
You are
We're
trying.
Me, we're trying. You've got dragons
I'm
on
trying to
your
appeal to
shirt.
him. I have dragons.
Appeal to the dragon.
Right.
That's the
Right.
strategy. Okay.
Yes. I have been known to be able to be bribed, so maybe I can be otherwise incentivized.
I can give you her bicycle if you want.
Dragon drops dead.
Oh, I have one too. That's such a shame. Dragons back up full hit points.
No one heard the flip.
Fine.
But so yes, we did get to fight a dragon last week. I know there's been a little bit of plotting going on in some group chats in the background. But you guys, we ended off in quite a sticky situation. So let's get these just couple of brief announcements out of the way so we can get started this evening. First, if you're not already following us over on our Twitch or subbed over on our YouTube, what are you doing? Those are both completely free to do. And if you want to support us in any other way, we also have, we are Twitch affiliates over on Twitch, which means you can subscribe, such as with Prime, which is absolutely free. Or if you want to support us over on our Patreon, you can become a patron there. Either way, it helps the channel, gets us miniatures and all these things we need in order to run the game for you at home. In order to give back a little bit, we're so excited to announce that we're going to be doing a series of one-shots in the next couple of months, where we're going to be doing a bit of a creator showcase, showing off some of the content, the maps or items or homebrew subclasses that the people in the community have created. We'll be sure to include all sorts of links and more information over on our Twitter in the near future. And we're really excited to be able to show off some of the people who've helped us learn a little bit about streaming, who've shown us so much kindness over on social media, and also get to play with new stuff. I mean, it's very exciting to get to try out all of these different books and the different PDFs and the coffees that people have. Maybe we'll see a magical girl.
Don't get me too excited.
We will be having a footnotes this Sunday, so hey, after you've filled up on eggs, I think that's how the holiday works, please come on by our channel. We'll be talking a little bit about maybe whatever victory we've seen today. or whatever losses our party has suffered. For our crit corner, let's talk about something very special that happened at the end of last session, as you all reached level 7.
Woo!
That'll be reflected below in the character cards. Thank you again, Victoria, which I really appreciate you working on those. So you guys want to take a second, tell me a little bit about your new powers?
Sure.
Let's start over here with our handsome yet strangely creepy powered person.
Yeah. Thorn
Were you confused?
has. I was torn between Laurentius and Thorn.
Laurentius has become more and more palatable as we've gone. I really like the name. It's got a good mouthfeel.
It's a great name.
Why don't you just do Lathorn?
No.
Thorntius.
Laurentius.
No, just go with Alex's suggestion. Shorten it to Lauren.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
Off track.
Thorn is now a level 5 sorcerer.
Yes.
And that means 3rd level spell slots.
Big magic.
And it's going to be fun.
That's really exciting because we're gonna kind of have, depending on how you choose to level up, there's gonna be this point where Ismini's steps ahead of you or not. And so you guys are back kind of on parity, except for Psychic Lance.
But you got 4th level spell slots, right?
That's my announcement.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, sneak preview. Wow.
Spell her thunder.
Do you have any-
Spoiler.
Do you have any cool new spells you want to mention? Something that makes you really excited to play Thorn?
Just stick around. I'll find out.
Okay. Secrets. I appreciate it. What about you, Silas? You just got a huge belt, lots of magic powers.
I don't know if I'm more excited about the belt, which is cursed and great and awful and great at the same time. But
Those are a good combination.
right? No, I'm actually extremely excited about the level 7 for Battlemaster. I get 2 new maneuvers, which have been so fun to play with.
Yes, and I believe you actually chose to
Actually,
swap out one of your
swap out.
previous maneuvers too. Now, are you going to pull a Connor and keep these secret, or do you have at least one maneuver to share with me? Come on, give me that juicy details.
This one's the one that I think I'm
animations.
most excited about, actually. That I'm going to see if I can't pull it out today. It's a maneuver called Rally.
Rally. Yes, we're gonna get some inspiration or some temporary hit points over from our dear Silas.
So I'm going to be excited about that. Other than that, Silas is just trunking along.
Okay.
Moving on from that bad pun.
All right, Amanda.
Yeah, let's just bury it.
What's we got?
So proud of myself.
So Gwynwen has gotten the ability as an artificer to be able to cast Flash of Genius on herself or in her friends, which is Jake's your favorite thing to do for our last campaign.
Yes, we've had an artificer in our party before. Very different than Gwynwen.
Very different.
But
Much
so
faster taking kill trees.
this ability, it's great. Doesn't consume spell slots.
Nope.
And you can add it now. What kind of abilities can you add it to? Is it just skill checks?
Skill checks and saving throws, which
And
will be
saving
very
throws.
helpful against a dragon.
So you've got and since you're not melee, your reaction was often not being used. So it's gonna help you a lot action economy wise too. I'm excited to see it. Oh man, my saves just got a lot hard. Breath weapons got a lot easier to deal with. We got a wizard in our party. Victoria, why don't you tell me a little bit about what she received?
Well, it looks a little bit like 4th level magic.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. So I had some fun
Okay.
picking out some new spells. It's very different for me playing a wizard because I have to prepare spells. I don't like to prepare spells, so I'm over here like, oh, I want to take all these different spells, but I can only cast some of them. So Abjuration Wizard, so you may see a couple banishments in the future.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta get out of the dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I have one more player, and they have been a thorn in my side for several years. And I don't mean Jake. What I'm referring to is our dear Clella. Clella, what did Lilier get?
I got a new Arcana.
Okay,
I'm really excited about it.
you get to pick from a big list.
I'll just say this. I've been eating a lot of carrots. Lots and lots of carrots.
Well, we'll be seeing what those eyes do in just a bit, I think, later today.
Is that, yeah, that's good for your eyes or something?
Well, no, but it was,
It's
yes.
a folklorism that people can recognize.
It's great, absolutely. Fine.
Your turn.
Now, I believe there's one more thing we have to do.
Vitamin A, right?
Unless,
For your eyes.
now, unless we want the 340,000 people in our stream right now to riot, we must go to the crit corner, I've been told.
Yes.
Yes.
In that case, Connor, how did things go last week?
Actually, last week was great for Crit Corner.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. We had the most crits we've ever had last stream.
Nice.
Okay.
We had 12 crits.
Woo.
12.
Wow.
12 crits?
12 crits.
That's a record.
The winner is actually Jake. Jake
Never
rolled
sure.
the most. He rolled 3.
Actually,
That's a.
super
Here's the
strong.
thing. I believe those all may have been. What do you call it? I think that the successful ones were skill checks.
Yeah, not a single attack. It was all skill checks.
People lament fighters being only in combat, but you absolutely demonstrate that you can use skills to great effect.
If anything, I forgot I can swing a hammer or something.
Okay, yes. Who's after Jake?
Runners up is actually a 3-way tie with L and his meanie, and also you.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Gwynwyn and I both rolled 1. Natural.
Crits for everyone?
Chris for everyone.
I love to hear it.
Wait, did you crit?
Actually.
Yeah.
And we don't need to talk about my critical failures, right?
I mean, we can. You rolled the most.
Okay.
So there was only, on the player side, there was only 2 natural ones from Gwynwyn and L. And yeah, he rolled 5 natural ones last session, which was appreciated
Yeah.
very much.
What-
Thank you
Keep it
for
up.
those.
So I mentioned this dragon before, but the dragon had a massive modifier, has a massive modifier, still alive. But I also ran kobolds, who were considerably weaker than dragons. But when little kobolds also roll terribly, they don't get much done.
No.
They don't get much done.
Not really, no.
And what a shame.
Also, you jailed 5 dice.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was good last session.
These
I
old-
didn't generally die.
All D20s?
Yeah.
Look, where do you even get D20s?
You don't
to
jail
replace the
D6s?
jailers?
No.
We have a
you get them
collective.
new kids.
No.
We have
Well,
a horde.
Connor, as always, thank you so much for keeping track of the crits here. You can, we'll put slide some bicycles under the table. We can forget that I roll natural ones. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk.
But we're gonna go into a very brief session recap and jump right back into things. Last session, pretty easy to describe. So let's talk about what shenanigans you all got up to last week. Last week, after a relatively quick verbal confrontation with a blue dragon wormling, which quickly resulted in it calling for its very large, very powerful father, the Defiant Smiles engaged into combat with a collection of kobolds and the young dragon that they were attending to. This roughly 5-foot-long serpent-like creature quickly took to the skies and watched as the party engaged with these kobolds, who were quick to see all of the party as morsels for dinner, ready to fight and slay our party and end our campaign quite abruptly. Luckily for them, luckily for us, the party itself was quite mighty and was able to dispatch with the kobolds for the most part, but not before the arrival of Fulguramar the Tempest, a huge adult blue dragon. Luckily for Silas, it was not the ancient blue dragon Azurvith, who he once lost his parents to and attacked his homeland. However, the fight ended in somewhat of a stalemate, with Ililie being knocked from the sky as she rode the dragon's back, attempting to finish off the heavily wounded serpent-like creature. This was aided by Silas, who had thrown her into the air in order to ride the creature. But when the dust settled, the party was able to pull back and find a place to rest and hide from the dragon, who had been swooping down above, launching both attacks with its claws and lightning breath weapon. Silas and Elle duked it out verbally, the two of them yelling back and forth about how things should have been handled. Silas claiming that Ililie was even dragging the party to their deaths, calling her a child, but Ililie taking the stance that it was her duty, her obligation, and perhaps even her destiny to defend the innocent folk of Eltz. The party eventually saw a bit of a separation as most of the party went forward, with Ralnor getting sicker and sicker, slowly becoming like a hardened carapace around him. He froze as they continued to explore, Taltred's throne. As their exploration of the mountain continued, they found ruins of the old fortress atop the mountain, but they saw that it was infested quite a bit by kobolds, and so took a detour. There they found what looked to be the remnants of a glacial cap to the mountain that had recently melted away, revealing within it an ancient throne room, a sealed box like a vault, a time capsule to another era. Using their Ismini's powerful magics, the party was able to infiltrate this throne room and discover a number of interesting things, including an ancient belt of great renown, an artifact of wondrous power, and a series of frescoes, these paintings upon this old plaster preserved in time through magic that appeared to depict several different things that were either ahistorical, heretical, or as of yet unknown. You've closed the door behind you as the kobolds of the outside were aware of you and assembling their armies around the outside of this vault you've locked yourself in. But you've taken a bit of a rest, knowing it would be quite difficult for the kobolds to find you within. We now find you in the center of this room, lit by ethereal, magical light, as if there were grand windows to the east and west, letting sun in, and yet it's fully opaque. That's where we're going to start our session here tonight. The five of you, along with the recently molted Ralnor, now much happier and occasionally walking around, now a little bit larger, probably a little bit bigger than your average, about the size of your average halfling, but on all fours, is now walking around a bit, kind of spinning between your everyone's legs. If you're walking around, maybe tripping you up just a little bit.
Is he biting someone?
He's larger, he's more powerful, and he even has a stat block, which our dear Victoria has. But the tensions are still thick here. Kobolds outside, the danger's still out there. Fulguramar yet lives and seems to know something about Azurvith, who once took your homeland, Silas.
So we heard their argument.
Yes, all of you were present for that argument, but the tensions were kind of high, and it seemed it was mostly you two talking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
being Lilie and Silas.
Yeah. I am going to call the first meeting of the Defiant Smiles.
Wait. Before we start that, I pull out my alchemy jug. Everyone has to take a sip of the beer. Just
Can I get a rain check on the meeting?
no, we're
What?
having it now.
I think we
Okay.
have to have it.
I would like to mention one last thing. Now, I said something specifically to Ismini and Thorn in our last session. One of these pieces of art sickened both of you in different ways. You were able to, while not closely observing this effect, and you walking away, taking some time to not look at it, you're able to quell what was inside you. The effect no longer appears to affect you when you do look back. You still are deeply unsettled by the artifact.
I'm not vomiting anymore, though. Was I throwing up? Who was throwing
No,
up?
You
you
were
were
throwing
fine.
up.
Yeah,
I
You
was
were
puking my
scared
brains
because,
out. Oh, you were puking
and you
out
need
of
to
it.
know more information. You were physically sickened
Yeah.
by the art.
Yeah, but I think
And we'll look at the art in a little bit.
We prestidigitation.
I think the problem is though is that there's an army outside and we're arguing with each other, and that's not good.
We're locked in a box with a bunch of kobolds. Let's maybe figure out the kobolds first.
No,
No.
No.
We need to resolve this tension.
Yeah.
This tension.
because here's the thing. If you're out there on the battlefield arguing, you both die anyway.
It's true.
And let's really, for a moment, because it's been a week for us.
Yeah.
If you kind of take a look around the room, the walls mostly are this brilliantly polished, dark gray stone, finer even than what you saw outside at the ruins of the dwarven settlement that was once here, and the stone giant Taltred's fortress outside. Additionally, it's reinforced by steel and adamantine bars and old abjurative magic, which you've yet to look too terribly closely at. So you know you're in a relatively secure place. The doors themselves, much like the great bank vaults of the north end of Eltz, are each massive, weighing well over 1,000 pounds.
I have a question. So you're saying this is a vault, so I'm assuming there's only one way in, one way out?
Yes.
Okay.
So the party chose to. I rolled last time because the party didn't look down both of the hallways heading towards it. The other side would not have contained an entrance here. There's only one clear method of egress that you've seen through your investigations so far.
Got it.
The belt that you're wearing now is still on you, and there is still this massive stone giant corpse in a throne. You've disturbed it slightly.
Is he still wearing his crown?
So you do see, though it didn't ring as magical, he did have a small crown atop his head.
I'm gonna grab that and put it in my bag.
All right.
Grade robbing.
Now, all right. Now I want to make sure Gwynwyn, because I need to make sure that Gwyn, I want to get Gwynwyn's state of mind here. To do so will require you climbing about 25 feet up using ribs as your method of climbing.
Something tells me she's not gonna say no.
Yeah.
Make me an athletics check, please. As you begin climbing up this thing.
Nat 20 for 23.
Natural 20, what a way to start the night. As you're continuing on up there, this room is relatively quiet. It's hollowed ground, clearly blessed by some sort of ancient entity. But as you're
Hollowed?
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
hollowed ground, and as you begin climbing up here, you hear a crack. One of the ribs falls. As it falls 10 feet, 15 feet, because the chair itself is massive, let alone the man who sits in it, this old dead stone giant. The rib falls from the side, tearing through some of this old rotted fabric, and it shatters on the ground. You see that as it splits, firing outward, it shatters part of one of the pews nearby. These seats for observing the presumably king, perhaps. You're all unaffected, but you do not fall with this and continue to make your way up. This band is roughly... So I would like to know how you're going to be carrying this, as the head of this stone giant is considerably larger than Silas's circumference.
So you can wear
Now,
this as a second.
weight-wise, it's going to weigh about 100 pounds.
Okay.
It's not terrible. So when you look at it more closely, you actually see that it's actually these two interlocking iron bands. These two parallel iron bands. And what they're mounted here appears to be some sort of lighter material. Looking for a couple of minutes, it appears to be some sort of coated, lighter metal. So it's got on the outside, it looks to be all iron, but it's actually probably cored with a lighter material that would require you to damage or perform more tests to determine. And so it's a little lighter than you'd expect from its size, but it is quite large. You could just drop it down. It's not magical. You could damage it. Assuming you have the help of your party, though, you could find a way to get it out of
Will
here.
it not fit in my bag of holding?
So your bag of holding has an mouth that is how large?
2 feet diameter.
No.
You could
What
reduce
size is
it and
this?
put it inside.
You could cast Reduce. I would like to remind you that there is a finite amount of both weight and space. in
500
diet.
pounds is the weight
Yes.
limit.
500 pounds would be about a fifth of that.
64 cubic feet is the size of the bag.
Very small.
Yeah.
The diameter of this is probably about 5 feet, maybe 6 feet, roughly. This is a stone giant.
Yeah.
For miniatures wise, can I have one of you? Can I have Gwynwyn actually? Here is Gwynwyn. Is this on camera? Perfect. This is Gwynwyn. Oh, I don't have one out. This is a stone giant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Silas, be prepared to catch.
Okay,
Thought it
thank you,
was
Connor.
Michael.
Yeah, I thought his name was Michael.
No, he's
By this
back
point,
to
the orcish spell has faded,
Yeah.
and Silas
yeah.
I
stands
know.
there.
He
Yeah,
poofed
put
out
the-
whenever he put that.
Yeah, I
Why was
put
he
the
in
belt
the meeting?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys kiss and make up yet already?
No, is it? Can I cast?
Can I
this all
just
again?
be concerned for a minute?
Oh yeah, we should all be concerned.
No, we're in a
Oh.
church.
Yeah.
We desecrated this place to an extent.
No,
I don't think we've desecrated this.
The stone giants didn't.
This was
Make this
part.
church.
This was clearly, as you saw from outside, at some point physically attached to the rest of that fortress, which probably occupied the majority of the caldera. Only about a quarter of it remaining. Yes, Victoria.
The pews.
Yes.
Are they larger than I would assume a stone giant would need?
That's hard. I'm gonna actually be asking for either a history or medicine check.
Is there a way I can help?
If you want to you can both make the check if you'd like.
Is that okay?
Can I make a weird check as well?
You tell me what you're trying to know.
I want to compare the artwork and the detailing on the belt, which seems like it was made for Taltred, to everything around me. Is it
Very
similar or
easy
different?
check. I'm gonna go ahead and make me an investigation check. The DC is not high. While he's doing that, Clella and Victoria.
Math 20 on history.
21.
Okay, and what were you rolling?
I have expertise.
20?
History.
History for both?
Yeah.
Perfect. As you're looking at this, you know, thinking about you take some moments and think about what you know about stone giants, what they generally, how they build things. You know that stone giants were pretty famously weapon craftsmen, and they were famously smiths. They've done some stone masonry, but looking at here, the pews here have wooden inlays to them. This is both a little too large, and a little too large, probably not charitable enough. The structures here look to have been maintained over time by someone, but these would have been slightly oversized, as is the throne in which this corpse currently sits.
Great, so we're in Titan Church.
Random. What kind of wood was the pews?
With the 21, you don't know.
But is there a type of wood that would last this long? Like,
You can petrify almost any kind of wood.
fair enough.
I was about to say this place was also frozen.
You can typically tell.
If you want to grab some of those wooden fragments for analysis that got one of the pews is quite damaged from the rib cracking on the ground. They don't appear to be magical. These are, when I describe them as pews, hi distals. When I describe a collection of these pews, what I mean, they don't have to be necessarily religious in nature. I mean that these are elongated, like tall benches with minimal filigree. They're very clearly for these people who are allowed to sit and view whoever sat in the throne.
Almost like this could have been a meeting hall for a king.
Silas, I have an easy, with your check from before, also rolling along, just as a reminder, some really great rolling by both Victoria and Amanda from last week. Looking over at some of the art here, you notice a few different things, but close to the end of one of these frescoes on the wall, close to one of the last things on the eastern side, you see the man from before, the gray man wearing the belt you have on.
Well, everything's great to him.
Y'all don't know.
Yes. So I will mention, it does currently
Sorry.
appear that at some point, perhaps an artist depicted the same man in the belt. Though, whether or not this is ahistorical, you don't know.
It's fair.
But this art is blasphemous to us. I was being split.
Yes, and
too.
when it comes to questions with the art, I have answers for you.
Just to clarify, we took away part of the wall to find some of this.
You actually spent quite a bit of time removing a huge chunk of it. So if you'd like, we can talk a little bit about what you see in general and allow us to go back, kind of do some back and forth here.
Was there maybe something behind the other walls too? We're not gonna.
The wall itself, I don't actually believe I asked for this. Can I have an Arcana check from, I can be from any of the arcane casters?
So all of us.
Yeah, that's technically everyone but Silas if they felt like rolling.
Nice.
21.
16.
Math 20.
Okay, the two of you would recognize this? No?
No.
Okay. It
Six?
appears that someone at some point cast the spell Wall of Stone, spreading a thin layer of this magically conjured stone, probably having to bring in a block with which to morph to cover up the more blasphemous side. So the two sides of this room, I think, I'm going to start with the west because it's a little simpler. The western side of the room seems to show some amount of the life of maybe a single person or maybe a representation of a species, hard to know. But this massive gray giant-like being, this huge humanoid figure. They're very plain. The art doesn't seem focused on the individual parts of the form. So just for example, there's no clear definition on like the muscles of this creature. He has two eyes that are quite simplistic, especially when considering the detail for the rest of the art. He starts in the dark, eventually being greeted by 9 constellations. Eventually he's brought to an island with a small mountain on it. And you see even further still, eventually, that mountain has now grown and the great lands have spread around it. This seems to be referencing from what we learned last time about the origin of this area, which at some point was an island before it was lifted up, allowing the surrounding areas to go from seafloor to the Red Rock Monastery. The eastern side, however, shows a series of things that are either unknown to you or slightly wrong according to the history and religions that are typically practiced here. It's essentially two large pieces of art on the eastern side. In the first, it depicts an ancient battle between some sort of massive elemental creature, this giant green coated 4-legged beast, spines on its back, tusks emerging from the front of it. This is something that you all would know as Adaman. The spine of Adaman is a massive mountain range, north in Gren that covers a huge portion of the continent. and is thought to be named after this story. Adaman is fighting this massive dragon. The dragon itself is covered with pearlescent scales, non-committal to any particular color, but you see its eyes like giant gemstones clashing. The beasts fight. It's sort of, if you've seen cave drawings that tell a story by repeating the same figures over time, where you see the dragon facing it on head-on, trying to go overhead, but is struck by the spined tail. And eventually, Io is cleaved, not into 2 pieces, but into 3.
These pieces, are they rendered differently from one another in any way?
One of these so 2 of these pieces are fairly easy to recognize. I should mention, after these 3 pieces split, you see they form into general draconic shapes, which then proceed to continue to fight Adaman. These 3 pieces, which appear to have been victorious in the end. The first is painted with a brilliant, almost blindingly white silver paint. This platinum dragon appears to have stretched its wings wide, facing Adaman head on, clashing face to face, massive scars forming over its scaled exterior. The next, a 5-headed dragon, red, blue, black, green, and white, appears to have snuck below, using its 5 heads to breathe onto the ground itself, which appears to be bubbling in this artwork as Adaman begins to sink, its feet melding with the very ground as its legs are burned by many breath weapons. The final is a long-bodied dragon with sparkling red scales, shining nearly as bright as the platinum dragon you saw moments ago, yet having quite as vivid colors as the 5-headed you see that you would know to be Bahamut and Tiamat. This dragon is painted with these reflective pearlescent coverings, appears to be raked by the scales of Adaman. You see, splitting down its longer form, a rush of blood, its blood too sparkling the same as what you see here. What you see on its outside. And the final portion of this shows these 2 dragons seemingly resting their heads on the third, protecting it as it rests from its injuries in the battle.
But does it look like morning resting or like alive resting? Can I tell anything?
You're trying to see, does this look, yes, does it have little, check for X's, of course. If you're looking at this trying to interpret art, I would say that's a fair way of looking at this.
Yes.
I think the most relevant skill, and I will listen to arguments, would be insight.
I will just accept that.
Okay. You're trying to determine what the intent of a piece of art is.
What are the chances you'll let me get her the help action?
I'll allow that. You're talking about aiding. You can't determine color, but you can still look at things.
Yeah, this type of stroke.
19.
With a 19, you know that you're not certain about this. But if you take some time and look at this, you can see a very clear difference in the way that the trio slew Adaman. You see that much like when Io was split, you watch as the head has been separated from the body, a very clear indication of death and defeat. Whereas here, it is a massive wound that appears in the final piece of art to have shrunk ever so slightly, as if healing over a period of time. This is the less blasphemous piece of art. Yes, Jake. Before we move on, please.
This art style, does it remind me of any other art styles I've seen?
I believe you asked me this last session.
Oh, I might have. I'm sorry.
No, that's absolutely okay, because I can kind of tell you a little bit from last time. It's lacking in some of the particular polishes and flourishes popularized by artists that you've studied in history. However, the raw talent, the skill, and the practice that went into this, and before you were cursed with color blindness, you also noted whatever resources were used to create this must have been of a quality you haven't personally interacted with. So they might have used incredibly expensive paints, as an example, but it's not familiar to you with what you've learned.
Can I rephrase that a tiny bit?
Sure.
I've seen art probably from Minchima, from all over.
Sure, yes.
Is there any area that that's kind of reminds me of?
So the terrain itself is overly simplistic. It's beautiful with incredible arcs that almost appear to give echoing patterns that ripple between the different frames of these. And every line, every curve done with intention. However, it does not have any characteristic traits that you would associate with just taking the nearby kingdoms that I think you could reasonably have known about. It doesn't have any characteristic things. It certainly does not appear. You actually confidently say this is not Minshman art, but it doesn't appear to depict a particular place. It depicts a battle in mountains.
Okay.
Weren't we supposed to have a meeting?
We can have a meeting before this other thing. I think that's absolutely appropriate.
I asked when the scary one walked away.
Well, in that case, so let's.
Can you grab the crown? I'm about to toss it down.
yeah.
Yes, let's do some crown.
We all stop and stare at the wall for about 5 full minutes.
Well, what if it's still on the
hold
giant?
on. Just
So the crown itself, think big hula hoop, made of metal and some lighter material. Like think of like an aluminum core but coated in iron for the wide band that would surround, and then 2 incredibly well made iron circles. There's no detailed jewel work here, but you would assume it'd be pretty hard to make a ring this size. Maybe it's worth something, but it's big. It's like your back. You would tie it to Silas's back, and that would be what he's carrying.
Are you reducing it?
I was gonna shove it off and have him carry it.
Why don't
catch
we
it
have
first.
a blanket and we
Why-
stretch it out and
why
let's
are
catch
we-
it that way?
Why are we taking it?
I want to look at this more while we're trapped in here
Oh, okay.
and not be
but it's
standing
like a
45 feet in
It
the
is
air.
Oh, that's fair.
non-magical.
That's
You
fair.
also,
So-
one of you have a spell scroll of levitate, don't you? Is this like a legal
I'm
target?
almost
Levitate.
positive I
I
used all the
just
spell
recently
scrolls.
learned to read. I don't have any spell scrolls.
I can't
I'm so
read.
proud of you. I thought one of you did. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm so proud of you, man.
Right. Wait, who taught you?
Silas, are you ready to catch
No, I
this?
gave you my amount of spell scrolls. So
All right, you want to take a little bit of time? Everyone helping out?
Yeah.
if we stretch out a blanket, it should be much easier to.
You want to get a rug?
Yeah.
You want to pull a rug
Pull a
out?
rug.
Yeah.
It is
So have
this,
that-
Emergency rug?
this is the most tense
Victoria,
cat.
I'm going to ask a very important question. They pull out a rug. As you're kind of looking here studying the art, you notice your friends have begun their tomfoolery, grabbing one of the nicer rugs. You didn't even know Gwynwyn brought this particular rug with you.
Why would you bring the nice rug?
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw for the rug.
No.
We're
It
sleeping
adds
on
1 to your roll.
It was a natural 20 for a 21.
Incredible! Gwynwyn, you toss this rug down. You watch as three of your friends sitting at the bottom pull this rug taut as the metal band. It's only about 100 pounds. This is easier than catching Gwynwyn.
I rolled a con save for a rug.
You got a nat 20 on
I
it.
love D&D.
We're playing the elementary school where you all take a corner
Yeah.
of the colorful
It's
flag.
the-
That's
it's the
basically
tart.
what we're
I
playing.
don't
The
even
big-
notice what rug it is because I'm like trying not to look at Silas.
All right. Speaking of looking at Silas, as you mentioned, before we look at that last bit of art, I believe a couple players have expressed they wanted to actually have the talk. You've not heard any sounds from outside of this room. The room itself, again, is probably about 50 to 75 feet, roughly square.
Do they sit on
Just-
the pews?
Just shake hands, kiss and make up.
Oh no, I already said I was sorry, and Silas got more angry. So
Hey, we all heard you, by the way, and I have to clear the air. I have to explain. I almost died whenever we fought Zerathal. Remember that?
Yes.
And then you presume that I'm just blindly following Olivier, like I don't know that dragons are dangerous and could harm every single person that lives in this area, and that I wouldn't personally also want to make sure that doesn't happen by fighting this dragon. I am still a person.
You're right. I presumed. I did see Elle make a choice, and I assumed that she was the only one that made one. I did not consider you in that moment.
I actively choose to follow Elle, and in this situation, if Elle did not choose to go fight that dragon, I still would have.
I understand your point, but on the reverse, I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. And unfortunately, I chose to follow, and then I took Winnie's choice away myself. There's multiple things.
I don't think you took Winwin's choice away. I think you're making a lot of assumptions right now.
I chose to go. I wanted to make sure that none of them died. And dragon's blood would be really good alchemical ingredient. I have to say.
Just from my perspective, what I think I'm hearing is a lack of conviction. Silas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I-
I'm not going to deny.
Rowlnor begins like kind of moving his feet a little bit, kind of confused because everyone seems upset.
Elle, please prestidigitate some wooden toys for him to eat.
We had no way of knowing what we were walking into, and I would rather not face something like what could have been an ancient blue dragon. Now, I know that is selfish of me to make that choice. It's hypocritical of me to yell at Elle for making that choice. But I knew in that moment we had no information.
But why
weren't
would it
set
be an
up for
ancient
about-
dragon? Why would you assume that it would be ancient? It's just a blue dragon. We knew that much. Why are you assuming the worst of the situation? You've always been probably one of the most rational. I would say that you're one of the most rational people here, next to me. I mean,
No.
I have to play
Yeah.
my character.
So, there has been an ancient blue dragon on Pride. There has been an ancient blue dragon seen probably... DM, can you remind me of the time frame, how long ago that was?
46 years ago is the last reporting of what you're referring to.
I haven't heard of another dragon this large, something that would create the phenomenon we're seeing around us in quite some time. I jumped to a conclusion, but at the same time, when all of our lives are in stake, I don't think that was unreasonable.
Right, but that wasn't expressed. And if you are able to explain why the person who is most willing to put themselves in danger to protect other people is now suddenly saying, no, let's not. Because to me, it's like, oh, big dragon could kill every person who lives here. So that's all. I just wanted to say, please don't assume that I only serve Elle and am not a functioning human on my own.
I think sometimes whenever I look at the position that we found ourselves in, I get a bit confused. How did I, who was following a merchant, end up on the mountainside? How did Gwenny, who wanted to start a store, find out that she's fighting an ancient blue dragon? Sorry, large blue dragon. I think that I might have took myself out of the situation a little bit. I didn't want to be there, and it was a bit personal. It made me, in more than one way, second guess what we were doing. I don't know why we have to be the heroes, but I think that was a bit of a cop-out, and I see where you're coming from. I just know that the last time I saw someone try to be a hero with a blue dragon, it ended poorly for them and everyone around them.
If not us, who?
The Guardians? I am saying that sarcastically out loud.
I do think we made a mistake in rushing towards the blue dragon. Because if we had all died there, no one would have known that the blue dragon was here, and we would have just pissed it off. And it would have gone looking for more food.
Minor addendum. I'd like to remind, just because it was you who did it, you did send a person to the information.
I'm assuming he got killed on the way there because we know nothing.
He does have magic.
Yeah, he's not a slouch.
We saw him cast Featherfall. I'm assuming that there's a good chance he didn't make it back.
I think
Yeah.
I think we have to,
Yeah.
but but that's a good point. Like, we have to,
Think more, maybe, but
Yeah.
yeah, but also, like, I'm here to be a hero. But we have to also trust other people to be capable. In the face of danger, traveling on their own down a mountainside. Like, you know, if the choice is we stay here and fight and we can't 100% guarantee that word will get out, but it's the right thing to do, then it's the right thing to do to accept that potential consequence. If I wasn't, I don't know how we would be able to be heroes if we're not willing to die to do the right thing.
Or more specifically, we just went and fought a necromancer who had been orchestrating deaths in order to get bodies to create something that he thinks is going to save the plane. An undead army.
The way I see it is, what are y'all living for?
What do you mean?
What are you
here
living
for glory? Here for money? What?
Why
Why
are
are
we
you
here?
adventuring?
I serve the House of Summer.
I just want to be my own
Elle?
person.
Silas?
Not entirely sure, but I know I don't want Gwenny to die.
Anyone?
That's still an answer.
Knowledge.
And apparently dragon blood.
Dragon blood would be really useful.
Wait.
Bam!
What about you?
What about you, Thorn?
What am I here for? What am
Yeah.
I living for? I think I'm living to keep others from dying. I think that's my purpose.
Aww.
I think that's why I'm here.
I'm gonna take our alchemy jug and pour one out for dear Thorn.
You
He's
work.
not dead yet.
Yeah.
The room
Not
smells
yet.
slightly more of booze.
This is an enclosed space.
Oh yes.
You were right before, though. Is meaning I owe you an apology.
For well, I think I've expressly stated that there is no apology needed because I also chose to go fight the dragon.
No, it's that when Silas pressed me, I doubted not your commitment, but had moments where I thought, well, you have to be here because of me, and it's not fair because you have agency.
Can I just state that it probably would be frowned upon and I may, lose some of my status and I might not be respected in my family anymore, but I could ask for a transfer.
You probably had means to a few times.
There's a lot of bureaucracy going on here.
Yeah, very strange relationship.
I mean,
I could ask for a transfer.
Elves top like 2 things is like random magical things and 2 bureaucracy.
Elle has had cheese more expensive than my entire outfit.
I could say that
Technically
this is
speaking-
above my pay grade and I could have my older brother come and follow you instead.
Technically
It has to be
speaking,
signed Phelan though. So.
you're still in your to the elves of summer. You're functionally in a probationary period,
Right.
because it's been less than 3 decades by a lot. It's been way less than 3
Right.
decades.
I'm not 70 years old. I'm not even an accomplished mage yet.
I mean,
So what I'm hearing just collectively
Right.
is that you're sorry, and we'll be better in the future.
We all agreed to
But-
think before we act.
But now,
but that we're going to
And
be
I will
heroes.
presume-
Yes, but we're gonna do things smartly.
Am
I didn't know
wrong
I
to
would
wanna
walk straight.
involve the government?
Like, some of it is like.
I didn't think we need to get
chance.
that deep in the details. I think sorry, we'll be better.
okay, but now we actually have a
Thorn
real
has the
problem.
most agency.
So think and act.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not
Here's-
yet, both.
Here's the thing, though.
Got it.
The reason for this,
Ah.
Ralnor, no. The reason for this right now is, we know that there's kobolds lining up outside to kill us, and we know that there's a dragon that we did kind of piss off a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a
Or
dragon
lost.
you put on death's door.
And we heard its baby.
I'm not gonna
About the
say that we could have
kobolds.
totally, if we had started off all together, totally wiped out that dragon. But like, I know that it was like a big scary threat, but like, guys, we like almost killed a blue dragon,
Right. So here, I have two
and
schools
we're a little bit more powerful now.
I have
so.
2 schools of thought. We try to barricade ourselves in this room.
Which sounds like bad because we don't have food.
We have rations.
Yeah, by the way,
Not
do we
for
hear
that.
like banging on the vault
You
door?
have not heard a
Okay.
single sound.
Okay.
No wind.
No one has
whistling.
studied the abjuration magic on the outside.
Right. I need to go study the abjuration magic, so we know
had
how
to
long
have a
we
heart
have.
to heart
Yeah.
first.
Right. We,
Study the twinkles.
Quinn, would you want to spend 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
so we're all good.
Well, we.
No,
Come
so-
on, Silas.
Formal
I think
apologies.
we're all friends again.
Shake hands.
Oh no, it's not
Shake
that.
hands.
Do you want a hug?
Do a hug. Hug two.
I will do a hug.
Hug it out.
And when we get
We do a
home,
hug.
I'll make us all snickerdoodles so that way we can all celebrate our friendship.
That's what
Ralnor,
okay.
standing there like little bow-legged stance, hops. Are you guys just still standing, or are you guys sitting like crisscross?
I am definitely lounged onto
I'm just
a pew.
kind of
Sitting
leaning
there.
No, we're
against
hugging.
like a pew or whatever.
I
Ralnor's,
got up for that.
Ralnor's standing like little bow-legged little creature walks up, kind of rubs his spines against Thorn's legs, and then looks up at Gwynwyn.
Thorn
Sound
kinda
like you
shivers.
hear the gurgling of a stomach.
You'll get twice as many
It's
snickerdoodles.
almost like he understands. You'll give me food. I love that.
Can I ask you a question?
Wooden horse.
Is giving
Wooden
Al
horse.
a hug the first time I've used like strength relatively since putting the belt on?
Yeah.
If you crush me, I will be sad. It would be hilarious.
Make a strength saving throw, Lilier.
I do owe you an apology.
Oh,
Strength save? 16.
I love how we.
As Silas gives you,
Oh, yeah.
Silas
I can't resist.
giving you this kind of really big bear hug, you think for a moment of the first time. There's like a tiny core memory unlocked of you. You remember at some point you were very, very young, and you met a whole bunch of your mom's friends, and a couple of them were like, there was this one really big guy with horns who hugged you and kind of cracked your back a little bit. Then they rushed you off to the cleric. It was very weird. There was a minotaur. You think he was friends with your uncle Nuri?
Of course.
No.
That time I broke my back.
That time someone accidentally broke your back? No. But Silas is, this moment, it just kind of hits you. Silas is weirdly strong.
You
Is he-
good, buddy?
Do you look any different?
Yes, he is. Yes, remember? We talked about last time.
yeah, he got
Your
creepy.
slight, when you came out of your disguised self with the belt on, your Your armor, which adjusts slightly to people in your rough size class, is a little bit bigger. But also, you can just see where he's got this unarmored portion of his arm here, as the plate kind of ends. It's mostly it doesn't have armor right here near his elbows as much. You can see slightly bigger forearms, a little more definition, and in the neck that emerges from the top, Silas is a little bigger.
Winwin's poking his arm because she's
Stoned.
very close.
Think of how
My homie is yoked.
I'm going to begin casting Disguise Self with a diadem to look like I used to look. Is that okay?
You want to become a slightly weaker looking Silas?
Yes, I don't want to be poked by Gwenny all night long.
you look even more like
It
It
General
still
Bailey
feels
now.
absolutely feels the same.
You still feel
Is he
really
beefier
hard.
than General Bailey now?
You've not met General
don't know
Bailey.
what he
I've
looks
heard
like.
of him so many times.
General Bailey's pretty badass. He fights on the front lines.
We can assume that he's beefier because we don't know General Bailey.
Yeah, General Bailey probably a total wimp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We need General Bailey's
Just
not
like
even
Silas.
Loxodon.
So casting Identify. What am I getting on the?
On the wall?
Yeah.
So the wall itself has a couple of different sorts of enchantments on it. First of all, it is protected by a silence spell. It is essentially a soundproofed room. You would assume it would be hard for someone to listen in, as equally as hard to hear from the outside. This spell could be repressed. You do notice, though, with that Identify, I can tell you a little bit of something, and I'll let Ismini clarify more if she would like to. The magic here is weird, as you can tell you would compare it to a modern silence spell and modern abjuration spells, like essentially like shield, protecting it from physical damage. But you don't. The particular way it's made is crude yet incredibly powerful. You would say that with it almost seems like they cast magic in a different way here. It doesn't have the same complexity to modern magic, but is incredibly pure.
So it's
I don't know if I.
Pre-spell.
Well, she's identifying the door.
Pre-spell.
pre-spell. Yeah, it's older than old.
Oh,
It's why Knock worked on the lock because
interesting, because
Knock
I
is
didn't know
modern.
not to.
I
Yes. So because modern magic has grown in complexity and let people do more miraculous things.
So, sorry, go ahead.
Because I mean, before people couldn't cast second circle spells.
No, that's fair.
I was just gonna say, so because there's silence on that, they could be trying to break in. We don't know.
Right.
you would though you would hear the door move because when Silas closed the door, you could hear the.
Okay.
On the outside of the vault, it's very secure. On the inside of the vault,
There's a
can you
handle. There's no lock that you've seen
I-
here.
Weirdly enough, I'm asking, what are the hinges like? How is it attached to the
Are the
wall?
hinges on the
How
inside
does
of the
it
room or the
open?
outside of the room?
How does it open?
Door open in?
Oh no! So I will say this:
Look at
the
the
door
side of the
opens
door.
out. So
Yeah.
you all
The
know
hinges are in.
Silas would be pushing it, which is easier.
See?
Oh, you're
Door.
right. Wouldn't that be less secure?
Right, they can take the hinges off.
yeah.
No, I was saying, can we take the hinges off and just
No.
drop the door on
A
people?
quick reminder from dwarven architecture: often the entrances are done that in such a way so that the dwarven soldiers can kick the doors open, knock back whoever's outside, and begin fighting.
That's what I'm trying to say. Can we knock the doors on top of them?
About
Or
the-
open?
This way.
Nah.
You'd have to be very, very. You'd have to give me an incredible strength check to try to shatter this, or dispel the magic, then give me a slightly less incredible strength check.
You can use your feather.
You haven't told us
We-
about the colorblind curse yet, have you?
No.
No.
Then
Not in the
yeah,
slightest.
you don't get the feather.
Yeah, should we have you paint this actually?
I will say this: Silas almost always sketches.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
aha
like,
gotchas.
Or can you? No. I wasn't meant to be. It
Oh.
was like, can we commit this to memory? It was
I
supposed
would,
to be a
if you
general
wanted to,
request.
It's
I
still
will
freaking me
charcoal the
out.
blasphemy.
It's really creepy. Do you want to talk about the last painting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last painting, now that you have revealed more of it, Thorn, it's deeply uncomfortable to look at the. You would say one of the sides of this army makes you deeply
I'm
uncomfortable.
gonna stand by the door.
It depicts a massive battle, though, because you see certain characters repeat, much like before, you assume it depicts portions of a long battle, maybe a war. You see two sides clashing against one another, including 9 figures, or I suppose 8 figures, that you are intimately familiar with. On one side of the conflict, you see a collection of gods of the 9, alongside angels, devils, all manner of dragons, fighting against hordes of strange creatures. On this first side, we see the first sun, a Minotaur, who once was the sun that would rise in the morning and set in the evening before it was slain. You see the Lady of Mysteries, the foundation of magic and the weave itself, also known as Mistra. You see Selune, the Moon Maiden, the goddess of the current leader of the Elven Pantheon, and one of the oldest gods to exist. You see Ogma, the Lord of Knowledge, at the top of this, recording the events of this grand battle in his ledger, as he does to all things. And you see the three great generals of this conflict, standing in front of looks to be an army of incredibly small specks and humanoid figures of gray skin, similar to what you saw before on the other end. These three generals were the High Judge, Tyr, the Lord of Battles, Tempest, and Bane the Black Hand, gods good and evil, treating each other as if shield brothers against the forces
So the only
opposing
one
them.
not here is Shar.
There are two missing members of the 9.
Was
Char.
Shar is on the other side, and the god known as the Traitor is here.
So Shar's on the other side of
Yes.
the conflict, and the traitor.
The Traitor.
How do we know this
Wait,
is the
time.
Sorry.
Because, honestly, I'll get to the description. Chloe, you had a question, or?
So, just timeline-wise, this was before Coralon ascended out of Imanitar's.
Yes, this is...
Sorry, that's a
We're
meta
gonna get,
question.
We're
just
going to
so-
get to Coralon in a
okay.
second here. There are more
Sorry.
figures here.
It's been bothering me.
So, on this enemy side, you see the two members of the 9 that you recognize are Shar and the Traitor. The Traitor is almost never depicted directly, though you do see on his belt his icon, this sort of warped skull with a strange half smile made into the jaw and teeth itself, resting like you'd put a coin pouch on his hip. He appears to be a humanoid figure with pale gray skin, considerably more detailed than what you've seen with the creatures from before. A small frame, a red shirt with a leather jerkin atop it, a small sword on his hip, and the skull on the other side. You also see on this other end, you see that pale woman shrouded in like either white fog or as if a cloth was blown against her. She is flanked on all sides by a collection of white serpents, which are being slain and slaying in turn collections of these angels and demons and dragons. You see that also on their side of this conflict are a collection of elementals of all forms, lightning and fire and lava and smoke.
Do the
And then-
elementals have white heads? I wrote that down last week.
No, they're just elementals.
Okay.
There's a bunch of elementals and other primordials. And then the thing that gave Ismini pause were a collection of demons that were more wrong than what you were used to. These strange creatures are not easy to place as their forms are numerous and difficult to describe. Though some are relatively familiar to the histories, Ismini, will you give me an Arcana check? Go ahead, assuming the party's working with you. Either Gwynwyn or Elle you can roll as well, or you can give the help action.
I'll give help.
Okay?
That's on me.
Go ahead, make me an Arcana check.
21.
20 is what you needed. These are a creature that are very rare, but some few still exist, known as Oberiths, or Oberiths, excuse me. Oberiths are an ancient form of demon, sort of a proto-demon that supposedly have existed for quite some time. Very few of them still are present, mostly confined to being demon lords of the abyss, such as Obox Abd, the Many-Limbed, who is a centipede-like creature with scythes for legs and a malformed inverted skull for a head. These creatures are all fundamentally wrong and forged of the blackest of evils, having come from a time immemorial. Now, this is just who we've got going on here. You want to know what's actually going on in the battle itself.
And the ladies, what made me scared though?
The Oberiths freaked you out. The lady scared
Okay.
Thorin. The Oberiths and these strange white serpents were all surrounding both the traitor and the pale woman.
So the only evil god that was on the side with the big people was Bane.
Yes.
And then it was Shar and the traitor on the other side.
Yep.
Char's the way.
There are a couple things I want to make sure it's very clear. Fighting in the skies,
Shar was there.
Yeah, Char's one of the two gods on the
Yeah. Okay.
other
She's on
side.
the evil
I just want to
side.
make sure she wasn't distinct from the white lady. Like,
Yeah, there's
No, they are distinct.
they are
Okay,
distinct.
they are distinct.
Fully different characters.
my notes are obscured.
Yeah, Char is the goddess
Char?
of darkness. There's never a white
Yeah.
depiction of her in any
So
way.
the only evil god on the side of the rest of the good neutral gods is Bane, and he's
Yeah.
the lawful evil one.
Yes.
I've got the sheet.
Yes, Jake. Sorry, I'm trying to describe what a scene looks like.
No, I know. Keep talking. I'm freaking out in my own head.
There are a couple of things here that are very distinct and odd. Nothing about these gods working together makes a lot of sense. Char flies through the sky above, fighting both her twin sister, Selune, but also against both her son and daughter, Amaunatar and Mistra. These four deities appear to be clashing in the skies above, and Char is wearing a strange, yet oddly familiar, twisted crown of jagged iron, forged as if made of spikes and thorns as it wreaths her head. This effect is incredibly familiar to, once again, our arcane casters. You see that as she flies through the sky, wearing this jagged crown, you see on the surface, back to back, the Pale Woman and the Traitor fighting with their armies of Oberiths and this pale white serpent, these pale white serpents that writhe through the battlefield. You see that?
Oh my gosh, it's a Mounotaur, not Lathander.
Yeah, this is old.
Yeah.
This is
Sorry.
pretty-
He's holding in one hand. You see that the traitor is holding what looks to be a similarly jagged, spiked scepter, pointed towards Char, and in the other hand he holds the skull, that sigil you've seen of him.
Tyr. One hand or two?
Huh?
This is the traitor.
I know, but Tyr.
You're asking if Tyr has one? Tyr is a one-handed god.
Right.
He's just-
I didn't know if he was currently depicted as having one hand because I know. In he loses
Let
it.
me
Like,
roll.
if you don't have it, that's fine. I'm just trying to.
No,
place
he's
it.
still depicted in the way you'd see. A lot of these guys bear the iconography that you've seen. However,
Just Tyr of two hands because that's old.
but looking through here in that first portion, it appears that he's holding some sort of scepter. Give me another Arcana check, real quick. In the next depiction, you see once again Char, this time having drawn back her bow. 14. That's the DC. Actually, it's 2 above the DC. She has the spell Crown of Madness cast upon her.
Okay, sure.
In the second, you see that Char is firing a singular arrow made of this inky black darkness as it flies through the chest of a Mounotaur. In the final depiction, you see just barely the silhouettes of the mountains and forests that have surrounded this battle, the vague notion of the corpses on both sides of this great conflict littering the battlefield. And draping over a small portion, you see what looks to be the hem of a dress. The sigil of the star above Mistra in this moment of darkness when the sun died, when a Mounotaur, the first son, was slain. You see a few people performing a ritual, the one we were discussing moments ago. You see Corellon, Bahamut, and Tiamat. Both Bahamut and Tiamat, as they did in the battles that you see before, against these strange white serpents, and now have strands of gems dangling from both of their necks. Rubies, sapphires, emeralds, amethyst, topaz, countless shades of crystals depicted around them. Incredible detail that is nearly unmatched by anything within. They're being pulled as if single threads of spider's web towards the magical ritual as Corellon performs it at the base of Mistra's skirt, touching the weave itself. You see that this magic begins to form this cacophony of different colors. And in this sort of final pain here, you see Corellon wearing these golden robes that match his lord Amaunator, having recently been slayed, is lying there as what looks to be, in the next moment, the Pale Woman and the Traitor falling through the same sort of cacophony of different colors, this vortex, as they fall to what looks to be a massive mountain at the bottom of it, wherever they're falling to. You see they're surrounded by countless severed serpent-like heads, some of them still attached at the neck to one another, slain demons of all forms falling through this. And as the artwork ends, you see the man again, this gray man wearing Taltred's band, watching as what looks to be 8 of the 9 leaving his land. As they do, Coralon, stepping away, still golden robes, now bears a single silver bracelet adorned with sapphires on his left hand. And that is where the art ends.
But no.
Oh, yes?
But right now, not a single one of us. We only know that Amanitord's a dead god. We don't know how he died. We just know he's a dead god, right?
You know, at some point, the first son died and was replaced by the second son. The gods were replaced so that they could continue to give life to the world.
So this, if it's true, is revolutionary for our understanding of...
Yeah.
So the more blasphemous thing would be like the idea that Bahamut and Tiamat had another sibling.
Yeah.
But truthfully, there are theories. Shar, the goddess of darkness, killing the sun isn't the most outlandish, though it is a bit... It's very impolite. Most clerics of the 9 would not agree with such an interpretation.
We have to kill everything on this mountain.
Okay.
So that we can get researchers up to these
If
frescoes.
Shar killed Manatar, then why is the traitor the traitor?
No,
Because
it's because she had a crown of madness.
He was
It's what I was
controlling
freaking
her.
out about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't
but-
the traitor because she didn't
So
do it
they-
on her own
she
volition.
It's fine that she did
Right.
it.
I mean, she was being
You're being
controlled.
mind controlled.
That's true. That's true.
So, with that said, can I just get a bit of world building? The traitor, is he, you said often not depicted, but is his name, is his image scratched from all the records?
Why would you utter the name of one so horrid? The general premise of the traitor and why why he's worshipped
No.
is to understand what is wrong with what all wrongs could be.
Will I ever see another piece of art with him depicted as my, I guess, ass?
You've not seen something with now you've seen probably like a bloody spear before, like a bloodied weapon. Typically, it would be something more like most commonly would be a spear or a dirk, a small dagger, often used to stab others in the back. You've seen him depicted as a crying face, typically not human looking.
Okay.
Does anybody know what the traitor's name is?
I know what you're asking, but thinking about it, yes, you're pretty sure that like there's a historical name for this person.
Okay, I will be doing some research upon my
Sure.
return to Elf.
Maybe I'll tell you right now, it's a DC 25 religion check.
The gods
Yeah,
probably.
when we get back,
know.
can I join you on the
Try that.
research trip?
Yeah.
I
Can
gotta
I
look
ask
at
Can we
this
all go to the
first.
library?
The gemstones on Tiamat's neck and Bahamut's neck and Coralon's wrist, do they remind us of that third dragon in any way? The one that was scaled purely, I think, bright red?
Well, it was primarily red, but you did see all sorts of colors. It's pearlescent, kind of the shifting rainbow-like color.
The original one had gemstone eyes?
It does have gemstone eyes. This other creature, who you don't see depicted directly in this great battle, you would look and seeing what's going on here. It is painted in a similar method. It is possible these things are related.
Even the one on his wrist, Coralon's wrist?
Coralon's wrist looks to be, as you look, kind of investigate closely, though you do see what looks to be these collection of beautiful sapphires. If you get really close, because on this fresco, it's still about this. Like, we're talking about Coralon's gonna fit in this amount of space. Here, so you're talking about relatively small piece. You would notice up close, it isn't painted with just one color. It is quite reflective. I don't know where Jake's mind's going, and I'm living for it.
No, the
So
gems.
Oh, I'm in the
the
same-
gems
I'm
are the
in the same
dragon.
That's
or
part of my
Coralon
theory.
is
Yeah.
connected to the dragon. Or the dragon's the pale lady.
No, it was.
No.
So.
No, 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 no,
I love
no.
it.
Dragon is definitely
No,
not
no,
the
no,
pale lady.
Dragon's not the pale lady, but it was. First
The third.
fresco has Bahamut, Tiamat, and third dragon.
And those are the 3 people who do the ritual on Manatar.
What I...
Bahamut, Tiamat, and a bracelet of the third dragon on Coralon. Where did Coralon come from?
This isn't you.
Well, you do, so you do know that.
Well, maybe we don't know.
We know,
either. I read
we know
it.
the official
The
story.
official
know
thing,
story.
Coralon, like many other gods, such as Moradin, was one of the servants of Amanitord's court. They were a collection of gods created to serve the first son.
So I kind of have, this is, I think, something you might know better of. The very last depiction on this mural, wow, fresco, is the Great Man with the belt, with the throne. On the left-hand side, we see him with this island rising up. Does that mean this island is.
Oh no, he has the
before-
belt. So in the last depiction of both, he has the belt.
Oh, I know, the island. It was before this fight.
The island was
On the left-hand
before this
side.
fight. Oh, so this is kind of a weird. How do you place things in time? Kind of looking through here, you would know some basic things. You would know that last section would have to be after the birth of Lathander.
Okay.
I have a theory about it. I don't think that's this mountain. TBH.
So me as a player, not
Sure.
in character. So Tiamat is the
Evil goddess of the 5-colored dragons.
the chromatic dragon or
Chromatic dragons.
chromatic dragons.
For more reference, you might
And-
Lola.
Yeah, Tiamat, right there. Ah, there she is, guys.
And the platinum dragon
Tiamat.
is the mother of the
Father, but yes.
father. Sorry.
And I said sister, or like they have another brother, but they're not considered literal brothers. They're actually, some religions consider them to be long lost lovers. It's kind of a weird situation.
Ancient Babylonian.
Yeah.
is the father of.
Is the father of metallic dragons.
Metallic dragons.
Which are the 10 true dragons.
But now there's this third pearlescent reddish dragon.
Yeah, he's mostly covered in what looks to be incredibly shiny. Shiny is the wrong word. Think of how metal is shiny, but if you shine light on like a diamond, it's more prismatic.
Don't worry,
Lustrous
guys.
So
It's
this
just Horatia.
is prismatic.
What was
Would-
that?
Lustrous.
Lustrous. That's an excellent word, Jake.
Would you consider that the way the scales look, it might look more like a constellation than it would actual, like kind of the colors of like how like the stars might look, or like how like the aurora borealis might look, how it kind of changes
So-
colors and stuff like that.
I like both of those things for different pieces. The glittering of stars and the shifting of the aurora borealis are both individual traits you could compare, though neither appears perfect.
I'm gonna
Right.
reach into my bag.
She's got a gun.
And I'm gonna
This whole
pull
time.
out my teeny tiny little diamond chip and hold it up to the light that's coming into this room.
I don't know.
What does it look like?
Can you try to catch? Are you trying to?
I'm trying to catch the light.
It's a diamond gem.
Yes, it's my little 50 gold diamond.
Looks like a Pink Floyd album cover.
You hold this small gem up.
I'm rolling with an insane theory.
Yes, you hold this small gem up, and you watch as it certainly appears somewhat similar as it kind of casts off a different form of. It's a prism. You're casting off
Yeah,
little
I
forms
want
of
to see
light.
because it's the clearest thing that I have.
It's not identical. You don't feel
Right,
like you've
right.
you've found a perfect puzzle
But I'm
piece.
looking at,
Jake
like-
is freaking out, and I'm excited to
Maybe if
know
we try
why.
to
Do we have like a
Send you
lens?
No, I'm gonna send you my crackpot theory.
Okay.
Well, can Silas talk?
This isn't a Silas thought. This is a stretch.
okay.
We
well,
had to have a
Anywhere
plan.
A door
before-
moves an inch,
I'm
2
over
inches.
by that door.
Huh?
We have an.
I'm over there.
Yeah.
I'm
I will,
avoiding
go,
the
I will
painting.
go over to where you are. We.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm
boy.
excited. You guys can keep talking. It was like move only a couple inches.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go push the door back.
You want to just pull it back?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like, because you actually, it's a little hard. You pull it back an inch. It takes, I will say, it's not requiring a
out.
strength check because of your carry capacity, but it is your full turn to do that. It's basically spending your action, spending
So
your
it
full.
kind of looks like a prism.
You sure?
Okay, I'm gonna put. My
I would say
head back.
things that are lustrous. That's a general
Right.
comparison.
But he was saying lustrous, and I was thinking like maybe it's shiny.
It's certainly shiny, but does not appear to be metallic.
It's the most comparable thing that we have in sight to the pearl scales, or to the scales, Coralon's bracelet, which is sapphire but multicolored.
It's the most similar thing.
Most
Clint, yours.
comparable. So in just terms of color choices, clearly, like
The
think-
strands around the two dragons' necks are similarly comparable.
Okay. Just looking, I think it's implied that this seems to be mostly painted by either a single person or group of people.
Sure, these certainly. Oh,
Or at
certainly
least
the
there's a
two
defined
walls look the
artistic
same.
Style.
Yeah.
Christine Chapel over here.
Yeah.
About 4 inches this time. Close it back.
Yeah.
Hey, we need a plan.
You should go.
Do you have? Do we have bombs?
Yeah.
I have fireball.
I have a plan. Stand behind me.
Can I ask one real? Oh God.
What are you gonna do?
Whoa!
Sword?
I'm not ready for this.
I'm
ask a
ready for
question
this.
before-
That's some
Yes,
AoE.
no, you can still ask a question because every once in a while I'm going to tell you a little bit further.
This is just a simple one. Are gemstones mined here? Like, how does someone find a gemstone? Something that's used for a spell.
Do you mean Okay, are you asking like a general how
In this
are
world,
gems?
like, yeah, how are
Oh,
gemstones found?
so oftentimes it's dwarves or under races, though humans do make mines as well. Essentially, they are often mined from naturally formed caves in mountains or other egresses into the ground are typically expanded to create mines. But you could make a mine, especially with magic, in a already existing, just perfectly closed like bit of mountain. But yes, they're mined. You've seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah. No.
There's very much mine carts and wooden reinforced mining tunnels and tunnel collapses. See O'Brien Steele for more details.
I think I was just confused because, like, is there a weird way that gemstones are found in the world? Like, you found some in the
No,
snowstorm.
gems are. I mean,
We found some from space.
you've got
confusing me.
you've got weird gems, but
Yeah.
most gems are simply dug up from
How do
the
you know they're
ground.
from space?
Okay.
Are there any weird Hydra-like
they're from
creatures
space.
depicted on this painting?
I mean, technically speaking, looking at what looks to be the pale woman is surrounded by what looks to be hundreds of white snakes, but they're not formed perfectly separate. It's like if you've ever seen, well, let's go National Geographic. Have you ever seen like a snake? Is there a way to say snake
Yes.
orgy more politely?
Yes.
There's a
Yeah.
writhing
No,
mass of
that's
snakes.
kind of the only way you can say.
But they don't really look like you wouldn't normally describe a hydra this way. But looking at the last image or second to last image where they're falling through that vortex, these severed snake heads, some of them are attached to the neck. Could be.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a source of a power that made you forget things, it would be someone who we have no recollection of.
Yeah. So I was thinking that maybe a little thing you might have ate another person.
Maybe a
and their
mother
name
of
isn't
false
known.
Hydra.
I wrote that down last time, and I was like, I don't know if that's right, but I'll just.
Yeah. It's why I was asking if anybody knew the creator's name.
Yeah.
Pulling out about 1 foot, you now can see Thorn. You're close to this, and Silas is already pulling it close. You can see for a brief moment as the door opens up. Only about there's only a couple inches of what you can see there. Probably about 30 to 50 kobolds. A couple of these have made it to your side, connected to that small, fragile, stony hallway just outside. And you can see behind them about 150 feet of water leading to the other side of the shore. Give me combat music, Alex. As looking through here, I'm gonna give you more information. All this is happening in a second. Yeah. You can see it looks like 3 small wooden, like large. They're these smaller than normal humans, or no humans, but these 3 longboats have been pulled up onto the stone. You can see that these kobolds have formed 2 lines and are two lines per door and are pulling at the door with ropes. And you see dozens of these kobolds here are all here trying to pull the door open. But Silas, you're able to. Give me an athletics check.
You said you have a plan?
Yeah, stand behind me.
Athletics, that is going to be... Oh, this number's different. 17.
17 is enough. Boom, you close the door one more time, but you can tell what's going on. If they've been getting more people lined up, pretty soon they're going to open the door enough where you guys could step through. This was a little too small for kobold. Next one might be kobold. Next one might be
Let them
Silas.
open the door.
Are you gonna do a thing?
Would you
Yeah.
prefer I just
Can we
shove it since
prepare
we're all
things so for
No,
after?
because then you'll be in
thing?
front of me.
Okay, I'm gonna prepare to do a thing after your thing.
Okay.
Question. Did
No
not
battle mat, by the way, Alex.
take out all of the protective spells that were on the door,
Maybe.
No, the door is super enchanted.
but like all the traps that were probably that we avoided.
Ah,
did not.
you'd have to inspect, the traps were on the outside of the door. You'd have to inspect that to know if they recharge or not. Because they've opened the door, it seems they're depleted. For how long, you don't know.
Okay. Would recommend not standing outside the door.
Okay.
For an hour.
Okay.
All right, you ready for the door to open?
Yep. I'll
Jump out of the
begin
way?
casting a spell. I start kind of holding my
It
head.
pulls back, and you watch as this opens, you see, because there's like 30 or so seconds passing, you see that someone has unloaded this contraption over probably about 40 feet ahead of you at the edge of the stonework, so not super far to get to the water line. You can see these kobolds have begun assembling this weird contraption. You see what looks to be a couple of them being assembled on the other side of the water. It has a number of these small wooden gears, pieces of metal. It's very ramshackle, but you see that on one end there is this large cup forged of bronze filled with a collection of ground up this blue sort of like molded clay. It matches this color of our dear draconic friend as they are loading what looks to be a small, ramshackle catapult. They're speaking all in draconic, getting ready. You go over there, get it ready over there. You pull.
Are those scales?
The door, they're ground up scales to create something. The door is thrust open. It's probably about 6 feet of width here. The door could, and you know that it's going to get wider in a few moments. What are you doing, Laurentius?
Grabbing my head, kind of reaching out. You'll see my eyes flash kind of like a green color. And then there'll be a kind of like tenuous sound like ears ringing. And then a good boosh wave of energy as I cast Psionic Blast.
Psionic Blast. I'm so excited. This is one of your newest spells.
Yeah.
So go ahead and you tell me what this does as you fire this out, hitting easily 20 of these kobolds.
So they all need
Remind
to
me
make
the size, actually.
a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And they will. Those that fail will take 5d8 force damage
Natural 1 for me.
and be pushed 20 feet away.
How big is it?
It's a 30-foot cone.
Oh my gosh. So the back half of these 40 kobolds is not only taking whatever damage you're doing, but is getting knocked into the water. Now, is this an evocation effect? It's a blast of, or rather, are you doing force damage?
Force damage, yeah.
So this is going to affect ambient objects as well, I believe.
Evocation, yeah.
So you watch as the catapult that was partially assembled at this point explodes off in the distance. They fail dex saves automatically. You watch as 2 of the boats fully flip upside down. Some of them get the wood splintering. Bunch of these kobolds fall back.
Not great.
How much damage is that?
16 points of force damage. Pretty low.
Still nice. Oh my god.
Wow! Poof! As this explosion of force happens, you watch as dozens of kobolds fly backwards into the water, splash like a tidal wave of kobold falling in there. But the ones who are closest to the door, bearing the brunt of this, all get knocked backwards. All of them like arcing out with the door. The door. Do you want to hit the door too?
Sure.
The door pushing open, probably about 10 feet now exposed. It's still not fully open. The kobolds on this side of the bridge are down. Looking off to the other side of the water, however, you do see about 250 more kobolds are out there.
Ooh, that's a lot.
You got two boats are being to be loaded up on the other side. They're not even out here yet, though.
Did you say absolutely not to get on the other side of the door?
Don't stay there.
Get
Oh.
past it.
The kobolds have to have been here for minutes,
Yeah.
as a reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You don't know when to recharge.
we don't know when the traps are gonna come back, and
I
I'd
think
rather
we need
not
to
be.
take out that catapult. And
There's more than one
I
catapult.
can.
Yeah, there are three total catapults. It looks like. Look, doing a very easy survey. They don't look like they're done. Yeah, the catapults. Maybe they could hit you from over there.
Is
What's
it-
the plan here?
I
What's-
would like
Far
to go
away.
take a boat.
How far away are the catapults?
They're a little under 120 feet. I said it was a little over 100 feet to get to the other side of the water, so I will say they're within that 120
I will
feet.
move
Potion?
forward.
Yeah.
Potions are a bonus action. What about certain things of dust?
So, yes, it would be a bonus action to apply it to yourself, action to use it on someone else.
Okay, I'm gonna dust myself with a pouch of fairy dust.
You take this cute little package of leaves and you slap it on your face.
Is he glittering now?
You do. Those of you who speak Draconic do see. Cast the gray one. Get the gray one over there. There he is.
Hey, Silas, they would like to fight you or grab you.
Let's get out of here,
For the
close the door,
Tempest.
and
It's pretty, actually, probably advantageous
I
for us
wanna
for
cast
them to
Fireball.
have to bottleneck into us.
Before
Makes
we
easy pickings.
do anything,
I need to plumb.
Yeah. Let's let them bottleneck.
okay.
I've got to take out the catapults.
are we okay with this art potentially falling into someone else's hands?
Go.
You could close the door if you wanted to.
I say we take them out and close the door behind us. When
If
we
we
leave.
could get in, someone else could. Should we leave this alone?
I think
Yes,
we have to
leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Okay, I'm not gonna fight it.
Okay. Take it. Go ahead.
Destroy art.
That was coming from the artist. This is
Reminder:
the last
it's
one.
magically protected. You would need to use like magic to destroy it.
on magical
What if I were
stone.
to throw paint at it though, covered in new paint?
It's well, you could certainly try, though. You do get some looks from people who do that identification magic. It's preserved for maybe thousands of years.
Ah, never mind.
No.
Okay, well, it's not like I could do anything anyways. Let's go.
Oh, gosh.
I like Elle's idea. Let's let
All
us
right.
bottleneck.
Stay with the doors slightly,
Well-
like stay at the doors and make some bottleneck in.
So you're
That
talking
was
about
my
doing the
suggestion.
exact opposite thing
Right,
as everyone
I'm
else.
talking about doing the opposite. I need to
You
get
wanna
out
go
there.
out?
So I need to get out there so I can cast fireball.
let's
to
go
That's
out.
why I did the fairy dust, because I'm gonna fly.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Cool.
Let's go then.
All right. As you begin heading out of the door, Silas taking the door, closing this because you know it takes them a while to set up. They needed to have like 40 kobolds here for it. Closing this door behind you with all of your new magically gained strength. The rest of you stepping forward, proceeding along this this now a little bit less stable stony hallway with the remnants of what this portion of the fortress used to be. You see as the kobolds begin gathering on the other side, the first of those two ships that are being loaded begins coming across. It's not super fast, and there are 3 total catapults.
I can get one.
What is everyone doing?
I'll
Let's take a
catapult.
catapult.
We could tag team together.
We'll tag team catapult.
I don't have that many AoEs.
Okay.
Focus
Well,
on
catapults
one,
themselves
guys.
are roughly about they roughly feel like a 5-foot square. These are small catapults for kobolds.
How many people are around the catapult?
So many.
A lot. Looking a little bit forward. Are you flying up? I'll give you a quick description of the whole.
Flying to the nearest catapult.
Cool. As you head out, you can see the general layout. You guys were heading from the west because you were going eastward to get to the lair of the dragon. You know now that it appears they're coming from the northwest, from the rest of that fortress, and there looks to be dozens more squads of these folks coming out. You can see small groups are carrying these boats. Looks like there's 8 or 10 more boats on the way. They'll be here in a couple of minutes though, because of how long the walk is. Looking out, there's about 300 kobolds in total now that you have more of a full view here. But only these 2 boats up front and another boat is relatively close.
Are they coming into this area from one cave, one entrance?
They're coming from the fortress to the northwest.
Oh yeah, it's not a cave. Like they're coming through.
Correct.
I have an idea. What if we don't destroy one of the catapults and instead use it on the
Against them?
boats? Yes.
Yeah.
We need someone
The
strong.
boats themselves are about 20 feet long, but relatively narrow. Silas, you'll struggle. Everyone else can get in them relatively easily.
Yeah.
You're an artificer. I feel like you could figure this out.
The boats are on the other side of the water in the army.
They're coming
Yeah.
to us, but we can steal one.
Well, no, the catapults are being set up over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow up a catapult now, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for
She's
it.
so excited.
Tell me what you're doing, Victoria.
Fireball.
She's been waiting.
Fireball. Just
This streak of light. Oh my god, I'm so scared. The streak of light flies across the water, and a bead appears. It's so very bright, and you hear all at once, ah! as a collection of kobolds cry out, "For the tempest!" and then explode.
Only 24.
Only 24. There's quite a. It's not enough. It's not enough to permanently kill these folks.
Oh, too bad.
As they shatter outwards, you watch some of these kobolds flying 20, 30 feet in the air before landing on the ground. You watch as that catapult here is devastated. A huge portion of the folks here are injured, and the reinforcement catapult that was closest is down. So you've only got one in the water, one on the edge of the water.
Great.
Did
Cool.
that mud with the scales mixed into it have any
that
kind of
was a-
reaction?
No one has fired one successfully yet because you all got to act this first round.
Did we have like?
You're done. You're done.
Did we
you're
take out
done.
a sizable amount of kobolds though?
Yes.
Cool.
Probably around 30.
Oh,
40?
good. I'm gonna do that again.
Gwynwyn and Ililie, you were trying to take out other catapults. Were you here?
Do you have a spell you want to do first?
I was gonna do firebolt and
Start by burning.
light it on fire.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me your attack roll. These things are mostly made of wood, so you would assume it's a relatively effective thing.
It's 100. It's over 100 feet away.
Over 100 feet away.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why
I will also have to fireball. I
Right.
misunderstood where.
To
it was.
hit,
11.
11's not quite going to do it. It is wood, which is not super hard.
Natural one.
Natural 1. As you guys continue
so.
fighting, you do see, especially with Thorn up, having taken to the skies, more and more of these folks are on their way. You see that there's still close to you an overturned boat, and one of these boats is in the water coming closer. Now that everyone has a chance to act, my turn.
Can I take a bonus action to ignite my weapon?
You can.
Not I need to make the.
You're making
Blade
it bright.
appear.
You
Yeah.
create your
My weapon.
you create Martyr's Lament. All right. You see in the boat as it's approaching, one of these kobolds stands up holding what looks to be, for a moment, a dagger or a small Oh.
So I was trying to.
me.
It froze you at the perfect place.
Just a brief moment, y'all. We gotta fix the technical difficulties. Can you give us be right back, Alex?
In the meantime,
What?
no, she's
Claw's
frozen.
frozen.
Oh. Yes.
Here, I'll just fix it.
Let it go. Wrong person, right?
Yeah.
In the meantime, what do you think these kobolds' lives were like before the dragon?
Cool, fixed
came?
it.
Were they kind? Or
No.
murdering innocent? Okay.
Hey everyone,
Kobold.
thank you so much. As you are all having this happen, you see holding up this small, like looks like a tiny blue scepter. You realize it's made of carved dragon scale, one of the longer pieces here. As he holds it up, he begins casting a spell. This little gray-robed kobold with the rest of his crew actually rowing, getting them across. The rest of them wearing small bits of chain and splint mail armor, spears at the ready. He's gonna begin casting a spell. I'm gonna ask two of our dear friends. I'm gonna ask Gwynwyn and Alilia to make me deck saves as they begin calling out as the rain continues. They cast Call Lightning. A bolt of lightning strikes the ground nearby, arcing off the stone. Deck save?
That's gonna be a 10.
That is a
Me.
fail.
7.
Oh my goodness, you
I
guys
rolled
are
a
good at this
2.
game. Hold on. I'm really great at rolling, guys. That's gonna be a total of 10 points of lightning damage as it strikes down on the ground. Additionally, I'm going to ask both Ismini and Silas to make me deck saves as arrows begin firing from the other side. These are not very particularly hard saves that you're making.
I had a 10 on the die. Or 10.
Fail.
13.
Pass. You're gonna take half of this. It's 3 damage to Silas, 1 damage to Ismini. Going right into that ward.
No, ward's gone.
We had a short rest.
We've had a short. Did you?
Oh, okay, cool. Then I have a full ward.
Okay. Going ahead. It's been a couple hours since you fought.
Right.
Going ahead and continuing. This is a fun one. I'm gonna go ahead and take my. I only have one catapult that I can use this turn, even though there's 2 remaining. I'm gonna make an attack roll at Thorn.
Okay.
At disadvantage when targeting a single person rather than an area. 15.
So I'm gonna shield. Is that gonna work?
Would you like to? So it's
I would
currently
like to
there's a hit on you.
Yes, I would like to shield.
You watch us flying through the air, arcing. You're just them cheering for the Tempest. Yes.
I love kobolds.
they're great. Flying through the air, this ball of looks to be compacted mud, powdered dragon scale, and hopefully that's just mud. Other materials flying up through the sky. As it comes closer, you see it's dead on center. This kobold earned his money. You bring up this magical shield. As you do, you watch as it strikes against you. It bursts, and you see that in the area around you, you probably would have to make some saves from here. As it explodes into just, you see now it's also filled with rocks and shards of metal, and it arcs small bits of lightning nearby. This is a small area of effect. They've effectively made a lightning charged nail bomb.
Nice.
I love kobolds.
No.
Ingenuity.
I know.
Absolutely. The other catapult you see now is completed and ready to fire. You see more people are coming. This might be the. Since they're coming from the west side, you guys might want to start thinking of an exit strategy unless you want to fight a few hundred enemies. Back to the party, acting in any order that they so choose.
Can we take out another catapult?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
We haven't had a mass combat in a while for
Can we take
my
out another
table.
Catapult? No.
Okay, are you using another spell slot for fireball? Okay. Yeah.
Eyeballs.
All right.
Wizard using our resources.
One set of these kobolds actually passes, and so they will actually have a chance to survive. It's gonna be based on
Not a great
damage.
chance.
29.
Oof. 29 points of damage? Yeah. 29 points of damage. You watch as you fire. This time, the actual catapult itself has been set up on a smaller hill. It's like a small little arc here. You see some of the kobolds on the lower level are actually shielded slightly, and it looks like about half of them managed to actually kind of duck and cover and are incredibly hurt. You watch as some of them, a couple of the gray-robed ones, turn to them, holding up their shards and begin healing up their allies and pulling them back. The catapult in ruins, in absolute shambles. However, it is still the case that some of these kobolds have made it through. You've been less effective at rendering them unconscious at this point.
The boat that's coming across, can I hold an action?
What was that?
How are they living?
Faith, trust.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't understand Clella because Clella, what were you asking?
Can I just stand and wait for the boat that's coming across until it's fully within 30 feet from me?
Okay, you're holding an action?
Yeah.
What are you holding?
I'm holding a spell.
Perfect, cool. Silas?
A good spell. I
The
can count.
wave of kobolds that were knocked down in front of me, did any of them have
They're down.
Did any of them have one of those little mud bombs or the components for one?
Taking a turn looking around for it. You've done it. You found a boomer.
I wonder how far I can throw it.
If you'd like to make me a strength, and I mean strength, not athletics check, I would let you... Okay.
No,
Bella
no.
just left. Do you want to throw it into a boat?
She's holding an action, but the boat's the closest thing is the thing I was planning.
Okay, 100 feet would be pretty absurd. You've not tested your strength to know how easily you could do it.
So just a flat strength to throw at the boat.
Yep.
Oh, dang. That's only a 9.
No.
Yes.
Might as well.
Silas found a bomb and is throwing it at the boat.
There you go.
24?
A 24. Now, Silas, I have to ask, are you throwing it... is your goal to deal with the this scale shaman, or to deal with more of the people who are rowing?
The one that's shooting the fire, the spell.
Perfect. Striking against the front of this person, you watch as him and what looks to be this small kobold, you see he's dressed in a wider skirt with a drum, who's hitting this drum as the other kobolds are rowing across the river, or this small lake rather. You strike the shaman and the drummer here, slowing the boat down, not dealing with the majority of the kobolds on the vessel, but dealing here with this figurehead. As you strike, you watch as these guys explode. I need to know how much damage you deal here, so I'm gonna... I can't believe I'm having Jake roll this. Can you roll me 4d6?
I'm gonna borrow.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't have different color. You don't have conveniently color-coded dice like I do.
No.
Roll 2 of them and roll 2 again because I need to know the first versus the second.
First roll is just 3.
Okay, you watch as it strikes against. It doesn't fully break and it hits the person. Roll the next one, but then it sparks outward.
7.
7 points of damage. You watch as you strike. That's actually not going to be enough. As you strike, it blows up, hurting some of the people in the front. But once the boat gets into range, that's going to be a Lilier.
Yeah, I'm going to cast a spell, a new spell. Ooh. Called Binding Ice. So you're gonna see a cone of. I was so excited to use this. So I'm gonna need some con saves, and I'm gonna roll 3d8 cold damage.
Oh dear. Good news, the people in the front passed. Bad news, the people in the front were very injured.
Well, 14 points. They take half on a failed.
Okay.
14, half on a failed. Anyone who, or half on a success.
Barbecued
Anyone
elf
who
for dinner.
fails, quarter elf will become ice formations for 1 minute,
All right, so
and their speed is reduced to 0.
All right. Boy. You fire out this small wave. Now, when you do this, does it? I imagine you like I've been playing too much. I played too much Elden Ring. I imagine you stamp your feet, a cone of cold appears. No, you reach out your palm, outstretched, sunblade, kind of giving a bunch of like illuminating you in the
I
battle.
have an icy hot thing going on.
They have an
right
icy
now.
hot thing going, absolutely. You fire this wave of ice. As you do, for a brief moment, small crystals form on the surface of this lake, creating almost a bit of this this miniature ice shelf here. It quickly begins to melt, but it hits the boat. You watch as the shaman is frozen in a statue, still alive, and the rest of the kobolds are frozen statues, fully unconscious in this now stuck boat.
I believe if you hit them, it will. Actually, no. They have to use another creature to use its action to break away the ice.
I'm sorry. If I succeed on the save, am I ice?
No.
Okay, shaman's not frozen, but
Yes.
he's got a nice dusting of ice
Yes.
over him. But mechanically, he's not frozen.
And that effect will last for 1 minute. Ice.
Okay, the rest of the kobolds are out. They're done. It's just this boyo. Gwynwyn and Thorn, you both have your turns before it's me again.
Is there still catapult up?
There is one catapult
I'm gonna
up.
target that catapult.
Okay,
15 hit?
15 does hit. Go ahead and roll that damage. Know that for a lot of objects, if you don't roll above a certain amount, it doesn't really do much effective damage to them.
19 points of fire damage.
19 points of damage. You watch as this catapult is damaged incredibly heavily, begins burning this kind of spire here. You watch as one of the kobolds behind, loading, like not kind of noticing because he's in the back section that the front is burning, loads up this this sort of little miniature bomb, and as he does, this fire begins creeping up, and he goes, ah! And starts unloading the catapult because he's afraid of what's going to happen there. Catapult looks like it might be out of commission. Thorn.
Is that the same catapult I was headed toward?
Same well, it's the only catapult remaining. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Am I within 30 feet?
Yeah, you have 60-foot fly speed, and you've got it for 2 turns. So absolutely.
I'm casting Psionic Blast on the catapult.
Ooh. Okay. This is normally. So I'm going to ask you to make me an intelligence check.
Really good at those.
Cool. I know.
7.
Okay. You begin casting the spell. Now, is this the single target thing, correct?
No.
Oh, what is it? Psionic
Still
Blast.
wave again.
Cone
Oh,
spell.
it's the cone again. Perfect. My apologies. This is the force damage, not the, no. There's no actual psychic damage
Yeah.
here.
Sorry. Stream.
Clumsy. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
What damage?
And the other kobolds?
29 points of force damage.
Nice.
Very similar to what we saw just a moment ago with Ismini. You see that what kobold now a lot of these massive explosions from the range you've been doing and the way the way they're entrenched here, it looks like a lot of these kobolds are going down and being drug off by their friends to be healed. It doesn't look like you've committed a mass slaughter here.
It's fair.
Has a catapult
We are
been-
7th
But
level.
the catapult is fully disabled
Cool.
as it shatters. I thought the reason for the intelligence check, I thought you were trying to do psychic damage to it.
No.
It is very much immune to psychic damage. It's made of wood.
I wipe the blood from my nose and I'll fly back to meet up with you.
You turn, begin to fly back, looking. There is a now it's only barely drifting because they're not actually rowing it. Barely drifting with only a single kobold shaman in it. One boat here is almost to the edge of where your friends are, but it doesn't look like it's going to be getting there without a lot of effort from that kobold. And finally, there's kind of butted up against where your friends are a single overturned boat. You do see more reinforcements are on their way from the west.
Do you want to take the boat?
Let's
Okay.
Are we going
Can I
towards
head-
the fight
Can I, head-
or towards
can I hop on the
dragon's
boat?
lair?
We're getting out of
To
here.
the dragon.
To the dragon.
Yeah, we.
Does anybody know how to
We're tapped out.
drive a boat?
I can do it.
You could drive
Okay.
a car. Or, I'm sorry, a cart.
Okay.
I can,
forgot the
I can
T at the
ride
end.
a horse, but I don't know how to
This
do
is a
this.
decision.
You wouldn't ride a horse.
This is a
You wouldn't
decision.
download a horse.
All right. As you all continue,
We're getting into water in a D&D camp.
yeah, you are.
I have armor
I don't-
that doesn't let me
I don't
swim.
have prophetic dreams now. I'm not scared of water.
All right, you're descending down. The kobold scale speaker is going to use its turn to fire down another bolt of lightning. This time it's going to be Silas and Gwynwyn. I'm gonna need you to make me dexterity saving throws. Don't tell me. Ooh, big one, big money. Gwynwyn,
14.
14 is a pass.
2.
Silas, you take 20 points of lightning damage.
How much?
As you were struck by lightning, you're going to take 10 points as you have a successful save.
Let's not go fight a dragon.
Yeah. We need to hide somewhere.
Do we want to hide and take a full nap?
Let's go back to the monastery. And
Then let's
like,
take care of as many of the kobolds as we can, right?
No, let's
On
get
our way
out
out.
of this
Take
area.
the
Way
boat.
out, yeah.
Well,
As we flee, we keep launching.
Yes. Cool.
Okay. Silas, so is there a suggestion for how we're overturning the boat?
We're doing the overturn.
Or are we going to take the one from the scale speaker?
Why don't we take the scale speaker?
so he can't keep speaking scales?
Yeah.
No
want
one's
his
dealt with
staff.
it. He's very, very hurt, but he's still...
Just firebolt him.
Flinging lead.
Can we firebolt him? Can we twin
You want
firebolt
to just...
Yeah.
And you guys both begin charging these lobs of fire.
Spamming.
As he's raising up this this spell, you watch as he does. Two of the other scale speakers on the far side of the river begin casting a spell, forming additional clouds. You look like whatever's about to happen next is quite impressive. You're gonna want to deal with him now.
Nat 20.
Oh no!
I think we're gonna deal with him now.
I think I also.
I was so hopeful for the other one. The one.
25 points of fire damage.
As he begins charging the spell up, he pulls back. You watch as he does. The lightning arcs down. He's called it. Strikes his this small little blue scale. He holds it in his hands, pulls it back. As he's struck in the chest by this firebolt, he's knocked from the boat and falters. The bolt striking him as well as he's knocked into the water. The boat has a couple of icy kobolds, but it's lingering towards you, like kind of disturbed a little bit.
Get on the boat.
Boat.
Okay,
I was headed towards it.
perfect.
Yeah.
With a bit of effort, are you guys flipping the overturned one, or are you going out about 15 feet to get to the one in the water?
I'm
up
gonna
front?
misty step into the boat.
Get to the one in the water.
Yeah, I will climb.
can't get into the water with armor on.
Right, we're gonna get into the boat to get it to you.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Going
can-
over,
I'll-
the rest of you begin pushing kobolds out over the ice.
I misty step into the boat and start pushing.
Are we keeping any kobolds or no?
No.
No adoptions. You're welcome, Connor. Ralnor fully, happily leaps into the water and just begins swimming.
Did he clear? Okay, I thought he cleared like a jump.
No. And eventually he's like,
Can I try to like, pull the boat?
Mage hand him,
Does
push him down
Ralnar
into the
try
water.
to eat the kobolds by curiosity?
Ralnor does not try to eat a kobold.
Good.
He got crap for trying to eat a goblin once, maybe? No. But you all, getting in this boat, arrows begin firing towards you. We need everyone to take 2 points of damage.
Did not anticipate a road trip to look like this.
You see kobolds begin stacking up, getting these boats ready. As you begin, what's the plan? Are we trying to head eastward in the water, away from the enemy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You begin curving around. Who is in charge?
It's Meanie.
It's not a good choice.
I'll pilot.
It's Meanie.
Good thing you
Okay.
took the pilot skill.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. You guys
Don't we
begin.
both live in landlocked areas?
Yeah.
This is gonna be great. I will tell you this. How this is gonna work mechanically. Silas, you're gonna be making some strength checks.
Okay, our paddle.
This means you're making some perception checks.
Okay.
And if you're doing navigation, you're gonna be making some dexterity checks for me, Thorn.
Can I perhaps help with Thorn's dexterity?
That's
based
absolutely
check?
fine. Gwynwyn and Elle may help any one of these people.
I am
As you begin
quite
pushing through
dexterous.
here,
I would like to help
I would
you.
highly recommend to have your paddlers do very well. Oh no, don't bother rolling because we're gonna take a very quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna get on the boat.
The boat.
Doubled.
The boat. We're gonna be back in just a few minutes. This is not the end of the session. Stay right here. Hey, you're frozen. Binding ice. Gah.
We'll be right back.
We'll be
What
right
lasts?
What I learned in boating.
All right. You all have just boarded this small kobold forged kayak. Forge is the wrong word. This is a wooden boat. Yeah. The boat itself, again, is probably about between 15 and 20 feet long. Several of you are able to sit in here. Silas, you're operating as the primary engine. You have, I almost said Kyler for some
Not the
reason.
helm.
Connor, well, you also, because you're helping with steering, you have an oar as well, but are helping control like where specifically you go.
Gotcha.
We also have finally at the very front, turned away. You have Ismini looking forward, calling out some instructions with those perception checks. Gwynwyn and Elle, who are you each helping?
Helping is Meanie.
I'm backseat oaring.
Okay,
Backseat
you're,
oaring.
you're helping with the turning. Silas, you're all on your own for those athletics checks.
It's terrifying.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I guess
Not
that's
All
strong
right.
enough, man.
Now, here's the thing. On your turns, one person can tell me that they're going to, in addition to their normal thing, attempt to interfere with the pursuing kobolds. No one has to do this, but it is an option as you begin heading out of here. Now, if Silas rolls really well, maybe you could get out of here and they couldn't keep up. You begin turning this boat, heading westwards. How did we get Silas in here, by the way? We pulled up to the edge?
Yeah.
Silas, make a wisdom saving throw.
Against what kind of an effect?
This is a fear effect.
Oh, I actually have advantage here.
That's a
Oh,
D12.
that's a D12.
D12!
Oh my god, but you know what? It
I've
wasn't a
done
bad
that
roll.
Better.
It was better. This was wisdom? 19.
19, you're fine. As you you watch the Silas very delicately, holding onto the stonework, steps over and gets into the boat. Or sitting down. Silas is in this boat, and until he's handed an oar, seems a little uncomfortable.
Never going back on our dock again.
Oh no! The
Why
fishing
is
trips.
Coco a baby?
Yes, we have our familiar Coco, who now normally Coco would play Ralnor, but she's really bad at math.
We're the same level.
And she definitely poops.
perfectly.
Yes, unlike Ralnor, Coco does in fact poop. All right.
Good for her.
As you begin heading through here, I'm going to ask everyone to roll me initiative. I'm going to be choosing the middle of these options.
Sorry, roll the same.
Awesome. We're going to go Thorn,
13.
13. Silas, 13. Gwynwyn,
10.
10. It's meaning 11.
Yeah.
17.
17! And that 17 is going to push us over with that 13 initiative, which means the party acts first. Go ahead and the three of you make your check. So I need an athletics check, a dexterity check, and a perception check.
And you're helping me.
+5. I'm helping you, yes.
The +5 is after the die roll if you'd like it to be.
She
Wait
saw
till
the
you
die
know
roll.
what it is.
I saw the
okay.
die roll.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
stressed out for you.
+5.
Silas doesn't have advantage.
See, when you don't care, there's no stress.
Silas,
I care
with
so deeply.
Flash of Genius, what do you add? What
5.
number? 20.
Okay. You guys, Ismini, you're jostled as the front of the boat comes up as Silas begins pumping iron, just an incredible force. The two of you are just navigating using each of your oars. What's the navigation?
I got a 21 for a natural 20 +1.
Natural 20. Way to go. And then the perception checks. 19. Very good all around. Way to go, primaries and helpers here. As you all begin turning around, pushing through, you see this lake again, kind of at the bottom of this previously glacial basin is oddly smooth. But as you push through, you do see that there is a crack on the far eastern portion. So if you turn away put your backs towards that army, you can see that there is a crack where water is pouring downwards. It seems like this basin is slowly emptying as time goes on, having been melted recently. You could choose to follow that. Otherwise, you're going to have to get to a relatively high rock wall and climb out.
Let's follow that. I have Featherfall.
I have a thing I want to do then.
Would you like to interact with the one boat
Yes.
that is currently quite a bit back, about
As
80
we
feet
kind of
back?
make this decision, I'm going to cast back towards them fog cloud to obscure their ability to see which way we go.
Oh my gosh!
You're so smart.
Sometimes
Are you putting it
I
on-
can do good
How big
things.
of a radius is it?
Let me tell you real quick. 20-foot radius.
That's 40 feet of width.
It lasts
You
for
were-
concentration up to an hour.
Though I will say it is
Wild.
raining. There is an amount of wind. However, the way that it dissipates, the way fog cloud works.
It has to be at least
It's-
10 miles per hour to disperse it.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say it barely affects it at all, given how large this is. Perfect. It mechanically isn't affecting it. So you see this huge 40-foot wide cloud of fog begins appearing over the water, and also a little bit higher up. So any sort of effects you use are also gonna be blocked. This blocks up a huge portion because as you wrap around, you've got the fog cloud protecting you, your blocking line of sight from some of the kobolds, and the structure you just left blocking from the rest. So you seem relatively obscured this first turn. That is a bicycle for Lilia Arendral. All right, you all continue heading along the way. Give me that perception check first. Ismini, give that still with advantage? Yes. I'm have everyone else holding because there's not immediate urgency as we begin pushing ourselves a little bit forward.
15.
A 15, cool. Nothing. That's not a negative thing. But as you're pushing through here, you do see pretty quickly you absolutely could fit. It looks like this mouth of what looks to be will be a river leading down eastward of the mountain itself is probably about 15 feet wide. It's gonna be require very good navigation, like keeping you on track. But should that fail, a strong enough person can slow the boat and avoid any real damage. So we're not gonna be doing these all at once if you're not being actively pursued as clearly. Would you all still like to proceed down the mouth of the river, or are you climbing up the wall and going on foot?
Let's go down the mouth of the river. If it drops off, I have Featherfall to catch us.
I also have Featherfall to catch us. So
We
have
one
to
of
go
us
down
dies between
rapids?
then and now.
I have pixie dust.
The sooner
ready?
we get
Catch
off
me.
the water, the
Obviously,
Are we
faith,
ready?
Trust,
Yeah.
pixie
Get off
dust.
the water
Okay.
better, sooner
As we
rather.
begin tilting slightly, going
Don't
down,
look ready.
Cast it on
you all begin speeding up ever so slightly at first. As you begin proceeding down this narrow passageway, you do see coming up close. It's a relatively calm bank. I'm gonna go ahead and need the navigation and or like the strength check, the engine, if you will. Go ahead and give me both of those here. Continuing the same things. You can change roles between helper and helpee though, if you ever need to.
Another natural 20.
20.
Apparently, this is a
Silas?
combo.
18.
18.
Roll a
You begin
2.
going even faster. You guys get the feeling there's no way the kobolds can keep up with Silas using the magic strength from the belt, push you guys forward. You're in a little tiny speedboat. Again, is meaning you are fully 3.5 feet above the water, where your feet is. You are angled up, but luckily both Ililie and Thorn are in lockstep. You watch as they push all on the right side and then reach their oars out and tap the side, because you're currently going through a 15-foot wide canyon, probably about 20 feet tall. as it's cracked through this portion. As you bank over to the side, you see it widens up just a little bit here, going through. You don't hear kobolds quite yet. They haven't been able to keep up with you because you guys keep rolling really well. However, ahead of you, you do see what looks to be this fragmented piece of a tree. You see higher up what looks to be the remnant of this older tree. What is this?
I just get excited when there's old
You love
trees.
trees, yeah.
I
This
love trees.
this older tree, kind of a little more. It certainly has. It died a little while ago, but probably not ancient petrified tree. But you see that part of the trunk, as well as some of the roots, has fallen into the water and has led to this sort of like it's kind of difficult terrain, but it's also a bit spiky. You could damage the boat going through here. Or you could choose to barrel through. If you barrel through, you'll definitely get some damage, but it'll be relatively minor. Or you try to navigate around it, though failure with the wall the way it is could be catastrophic.
Wait, we
Can
can
I
fix this.
reduce the tree down so that way it's
Oh,
not a problem?
That's way smarter than what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
What were you gonna do, Wizard? Fireball it?
No.
I was
No.
also thinking of
I was-
magic on fire.
I was going to cast Shatter.
Shatter. Okay, I will say both of those excellent plans. What are we doing? Because only one of you has to do.
I'll cast Enlarge Reduce on
Okay.
it.
Gwynwyn, that is absolutely excellent. I'm actually because the
We became crazy competent as soon as we got it.
now here's the thing. Sometimes we did this in skill challenges. Sometimes when you use the
pirates?
right sort of resource, you pass the challenge, so that you all are able to continue pushing through here, going even faster. I will ask still for this Silas check to determine how, once again, to see if the kobolds are gaining or not. You hear often it's get on.
Okay, it's cocked. Let's hope
I
we.
can't believe we figured out which way we went.
15.
Worse.
20.
Math 20.
Did you flash of genius?
Yeah.
You already
just
have
to
so
get
many
away.
of
You
those.
guys are
I miss
booking
Mars.
it.
Well, look, if you-
I'm gonna
Do you guys
proactively.
remember waterfalls around here?
As you can continue, the water or the rivers become pretty steadily about 20 feet wide. You see the outer walls are angling. They're still very smooth, having until recently just been essentially a shard, a dagger of ice piercing through to the Taltred's throne. But as you're going through here, you start going a little bit faster and a little bit faster. Now, it's not a waterfall. It is
Oh.
the sound of white water.
Oh, worse.
Yeah.
This is.
As you
can't
come
feather fall your weight
through
on that.
what looks to be these rapids, reminder that you were in a very long boat.
No, this is the worst decision I think we've
For
ever made.
just
Welcome to Rite.
for my reference, we're going away from where the blue dragon flew to.
No, you're heading eastward. You're heading towards where the dragon head
That's
is.
what I
heading.
thought. Okay.
Expressway.
I thought that, but I just want to make sure.
I have no resources left.
I suppose it is at
I have
this
some.
point.
Oh, wait. I have a wild suggestion to help us get down the rapids.
I will save this thing for after your suggestion then, perhaps.
What if we use like the baby cone of cold, the binding eyes, to make sort of a ramp? It did temporarily freeze. It's 30 feet. It might let us skid a little bit.
If your goal is to create a arc of ice,
I can
like
do
you
it
saw
twice.
before, you want to make an arc of ice with the
I
intent
can
of
do it once.
leaping over this whitewater section which has several boulders in the water and attempt to leap over the rapids. You may choose to do so. No. If you succeed, fantastic. You bypassed the major obstacle. If you fail, you may have made things worse.
We recently had a powwow, so guys.
Go for
3
it.
seconds.
Let's get out of the water.
So I threw fairy dust at the furnace.
Even better.
Even better.
I have another thing of it.
It's not too late to become a pirate.
Now, normally flight doesn't work on inanimate
Okay.
objects. However, you know that creature that wasn't intelligent kind of just kept moving. When it stood up, it kept moving. It kept its momentum. Were you to strike this, and you were going whatever way you're going, you're gonna keep gliding that direction for a little while.
Ramp up and then go.
Do I
We
do it?
can't control it.
Do it. Let's do it. Come on.
I do
let's
it?
do it. Do it.
Smash.
Okay, you strike this. Silas, give me your athletics check because remember, you've been pushing the boat upwards the whole time. You don't need to spend your spell slot here.
I'm fine with
Look, I haven't rolled above a 6, so this should be fine. It's only
I'm sorry.
14.
It was what?
14.
14?
This is good, right? Do we want to go up?
keeping it.
You guys see this these whitewater rapids. Several of the next couple of teams with their instructors are waiting in line, ready to go and do the rapids. But you guys, you went in. We didn't need a trainer. We didn't need professional equipment. We didn't need safety standards. A lot of you pushing up. Silas, you feel this grinding sound as you just barely scrape the bottom of the boat. A tiny little sliver of this cobalt wood shattered outward.
Pass it around.
You also see rolling out from under Ismini's seat one of these blue spheres rolling further towards the back of the boat.
Can I grab it?
Inside. You grab it, you've got this bomb.
Oh my god.
As you ascend about 15 feet in the air. Oh no, do I get to know?
You can see it, yeah.
I get to know too.
Can we say it out loud?
I will give you a bicycle to say this out loud.
Now this is pod racing.
As you all take the emergency ramp, you hit this boulder in the water. Silas, you push off, using your longer arms and great muscles to actually touch the riverbed and push, giving just enough give to actually fly up. You are now about 15 feet in the air, 20 feet in the air, 25 feet in the air. As you all continue up, you see that the river continues for rapids for probably about, you would say about 3 large main segments of this as you continue gliding, because this spell lasts an hour.
Yes.
How close are we to the ceiling?
What ceiling?
We're in the open air
Oh, we're
now.
in the open air. Oh my god! I can't imagine we're in a cave.
We
No.
were. We are.
You were in an open-topped cave, essentially.
Okay.
You are now ascending above this. As
I'm
you
gonna make a steering check.
I feel less bad about this now.
explain to me how you're going to continue this object that is functionally sans gravity.
Do you have another force spell that you can like
You weigh it down in the
on
front.
the other side?
Can you cast catapult to yeet it one way or the other?
No.
Way too heavy.
Oh my gosh. We'll also
Let's
die.
reduce the boat and then cast.
As you all fly, just ET style, arcing over the horizon.
I could just turn invisible. No, tried.
You can see behind you, going further to the west where you came from. You see the kobolds. Several of these boats. It looks like there's 5 or 6 of these boats are on the water searching for you. They don't appear to have spotted you at this time. You're not very not that high because you were coming down the mountain.
I may have an idea on how we can stop ourselves if we get close to something. So if we get close to something, let me know if you want to stop.
You are currently heading upward, and the mountain is angled. So this is the mountain.
Wait.
You're doing this.
Does it go with the direction of the boat's nose?
Time out.
Yes.
What is under us
So we just
directly?
put the boat's nose level.
No, it's momentum. You can't change the boat's level and change
I can't
momentum.
Jump.
Cole's like, I don't like math.
Hey, what is
Do
directly
I look
under
like I
us?
know how to physics works?
Currently directly under you, at this exact moment, rock. But in like 20 seconds, you'll be above the river again.
Silas,
Jump.
go to the top.
Let's jump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
jump. We all go towards the front and we jump.
Jump.
I don't think
and
that's how that works.
That would break the boat.
I will also say, you do have the option of dispelling the magic that's currently imbued.
No.
We could jump off the boat while we have something under us. You have featherfall.
But then we lose our amazing flying vehicle we've acquired.
I say we just keep taking the boat as far as possible.
Let's just ride this.
Wait. Featherfall lasts a little while. We have 2 casts of it between the 2 of us, if not more. We'll be fine. Let's just keep going for a while. Let's just enjoy it.
Are we
I can still
on the
fly.
right path?
Can I try to like
You can still fly.
Can I
push
make?
it?
Would you like to give me a navigation check once more? You don't have advantage because I don't believe anyone can help you with this.
While he's doing that,
You can, I will say this, unfortunately, this is an athletics check. You're trying to push the boat.
It's about the same.
is there anything around us that might look?
Here you go.
Oh.
Ooh, bicycle.
I don't want to crash into the earth.
Natural 1 on that second one.
Yeah.
What's your total?
1.
It was advantage.
Oh, total 3.
3. So at first, it definitely. So remember, failure means different things in context. As you're here using your using your magical flight to try to angle this down, it takes you several attempts. You got your players at one point kind of get jostled for a little bit. And there's a moment where like, what are we doing? They're holding on
Alright.
for dear life.
It's the first time I can move in 3D space.
You learned what 3D is, guys. I'm so proud. Give it a hand for Thorn.
Thorn has a better understanding of physics than I
It takes
do.
you a little while, and by the time you're able to start angling this down, you're about 150 feet above the ground. and you're able to begin pushing down. Now, if you recall, Taltred's throne is not just an ordinary mountain. Though it extends a bit wide on the eastern flank, so it's a more gradual decline, it also has, much like its base, several of these stony archways giving quite a bit of shade underneath. As you continue along your way, you see that the river itself begins to expand, heading eastward.
So, where are we going?
Anything look dragon layery?
I don't think
I
we
can
should
take
go
a
to
perception check.
I think we should find somewhere to camp for the
Navigation?
I'll make a perception check.
Sure. Perception team and our flyboy.
I'm gonna keep paddling just to keep appearance.
Just silence. It's just you're paddling a flying boat.
Look, I'm gonna
I'm
need
just
extensive
thinking.
D&D
Perception?
therapy after
19.
this.
19.
Yeah, that's more than mine.
19 is a really good number because you do see something. Far off in the distance, you see what looks to be one of these cave-like these stony archways that gives shade to a good portion of this. This whole eastern side of the mountain is incredibly arid. You see that all of the greenery, all of the ice is essentially dissipated. However, in this area, you see that what looks to be a small oasis has formed around one portion of the river. Still mostly stone, but small bits of plants still living just at the edge of the river in these sandy banks. A ruined collection of dwarven-like structures still remains. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this miniature resting on the ground in one of these small stony structures. You see
I have a really bad
a
idea.
blue dragon.
Is it drop the boat on the dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
drop the boat
I think
on
we
the
should
dragon.
drop the boat on the dragon.
It is 100% turn ourselves into a missile and
Now, you guys have only been,
drop it.
unfortunately, because you're flying and you're avoiding about half mile of river, you haven't had time for a short rest. But what you did have time for, that I would like to remind you of, is to use your blessing. Due to the time spent within that room, each of you has acquired a minor blessing that will affect you over the next few hours. And I would like each of you to select between two blessings. First, you may choose to be blessed, adding a d4 to all attack rolls and saving throws that you make here. Anyway, I should clarify. You're not as you're feeling this isn't so much a cognitive decision, but it's going to be a meta one. Alternatively, should you like, you can receive a blessing of healing. This is your decision to make. Would you like an assistance to your attacks and saves, or would you like to receive a sort of regenerative ability?
Is it when you say healing? Do you mean like?
I mean, your HP go up.
Oh, okay.
I'll take
Okay,
bless.
I know what I bless.
I'll take bless.
Bless.
Healing.
Gwynwyn, I would like you to restore your hit points to full. At the start of each of your turns, I would like you to roll me a d4
Nice.
to regain those hit points.
Yeah, should have taken healing.
Well, that's
You
a
probably
shame.
would want to.
So I've been told that there's going to be a nonsense involving dropping a boat on a dragon. Now, a couple things are going to be...
You gave us these circumstances.
Couple things are gonna, you gave yourselves circumstances. As you're flying with this canoe, you have Silas pantomiming an oar, or you have the oar.
No, I have
you're
the
pretending
oar.
the river's there. You have in the back,
River of life,
Laurentius kind of
Kevin.
aiming this.
Don't
Laurentius,
make
I do need to. You'll.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we need.
Bicycle, please.
No, I refuse.
You should go.
Let's just encourage him to do it more.
As you're here now, he's under the dragon is okay. The dragon is underneath this probably about 150-foot tall stone archway. It's in width. It's over 300 feet. So this is all, the area you're looking at is all in shadow. It's not in the rain. It's not in the rain at the moment. And the lightning storms have stopped. It's still quite dark because of it, and it's getting dark regularly here. It's probably about 7:30 in the evening, so it's going to start getting dark soon. You can aim in that direction, but do know that using so, getting the boat in position, will be your action that first round. If you're detected, there won't be a surprise round and bad things could go poorly. Are you okay? Or
Wait.
you could try to set it and forget it. Set the angle, get in the boat, and get ready. Do you trust your aim?
We could also obscure the dragon's vision.
Could I
We just had the
try
timing would be.
to aim?
So there's two options. You could either guide it actively the whole way, which will take up your first turn, or while you're up here in the sky, angle it, keep the momentum, and have it just fly at the dragon. You're going to be hitting it with a boat.
Can I have everyone else jump off and move it myself to hit the dragon?
If you like.
I have to.
You can fly. Yeah, if you did that, I would give you advantage on your check.
I want to do that if you guys are cool with hopping off.
Yeah.
To confirm, if you take this action, you will be fighting a dragon in its lair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really bad
Alex-
idea, but yes.
Preparing to cast Featherfall for this.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Which of you would like to cast Featherfall? 'Cause
It's
it
gonna be
affects
me. I have more spell slots right
totally fine.
I shouldn't have cast.
Alex, would you like to reveal the battle map to our
now. No,
players?
You actually should.
While he's doing that, can I go ahead and pat Gwenny on the back, giving her a quick rally?
Absolutely. Why don't you tell us what Rally does? This is the first time.
Rally is actually a battle maneuver that seems super fun to try out. It is a chance on a bonus action for me to give one of my comrades a superiority die of temporary hit points, plus my charisma modifier.
So go ahead and roll your superiority die.
Do you want to let her roll it?
If you'd like, that's fine.
What is it?
That's a
D8.
D8.
So a D8 plus 1 temporary hit points.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
What's the total?
9.
9 temporary hit points is absurd. Your first rally was max.
Yes.
Your first bait and switch was max too.
I think so. Yeah.
You roll those very well.
Oh, she rolled it. All kudos to the Guidos.
Party.
Guidos? Gwenny?
As you're heading down here, seeking out, firing this sort of seeking missile down, the party getting just underneath the edge of this. You're planning on leaping out as Lilia casts Featherfall and you begin descending?
Yeah.
All right. Looking around, you do see around the reaches here, there are a small collection of kobolds that are probably going to be relatively quick to summon. Looks to be not a ton of them here with that previous perception check. It's hard to tell because some of them could be hiding away in the ruins. Victoria has a question.
Yeah, are we able to do any preparation casting?
Well, yeah, that's what people have been doing.
Oh, okay, can I do that?
Yes,
I'm gonna use a 4th level spell slot to cast Melf's Minute Meteors.
What?
Nice.
using a 4th level spell slot, so you're
So I have 8
upcasting.
of them.
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm in danger.
Wait, I just had a vision of a 20th level wizard.
Hey, does
Around-
Featherfall slow or fall?
Yes.
Yes.
How far away from the ground are we?
So when you're gonna get there, you're gonna be about 80 feet above the ground.
Specifically, we only fall 60 feet per round.
You want to wait till you're
Oh,
at
if it's
60?
60 feet around, we're fine.
And then we can't
I was
take
gonna
falling
say,
damage.
well, if you want, we can take 60 feet
You
around.
have a
so
question,
just
Alex?
land there.
Oh no, Jake, you were just shaking the table when you had your elbows
Oh.
on.
Oh, I always do.
Behave,
I'm
Jake.
so
Thank you, Alex, for the note.
excited.
Okay, so you can wait till you get to 60, but no, with the boat's not going super fast. It's gonna be annoying because it's so heavy. If it's there. If you guys are waiting for that 60 feet,
I'm putting the bomb in the front before we leap out.
Nice.
Any sour bombs, drop them
I
out.
have a sour drop bomb and a
arming them and using them happens in the same turn. It will be your action on the first turn if you'd like to load them and jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have my action.
Could I?
You can have my action as well.
And
Maybe
my
my-
action.
If I can cast a spell as a bonus action, can I still do that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Well, in that case,
We load up a bomb.
1 second.
The sour bomb
Spicy, sour, and the third bomb.
and the
If you wouldn't mind going ahead and placing the party on the boat, as this is not what I thought the flight stand was going to be used for. As the party begins descending,
I'm at the front of the boat.
You are the front of the boat.
next to the bomb.
because
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah. I need to go backwards so you guys.
win-win.
Abandoned ship so quickly.
I have to be technically near.
In the front.
Yeah, putting the bombs.
You're in the
Yeah.
front.
Did
Okay,
you
cool.
did you summon Squawk?
Yeah. Didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. You had Squawk as well. All right, party.
Flying.
I never thought I would have to put this on the flight stand. It's a boat.
You should have known better with us.
Apparently.
We've all seen Peter Pan.
You
All right.
gave me magic
Everyone,
pixie dust.
I'm gonna need you to roll for initiative as you begin to ready yourself to face off against Fulguramar the Tempest.
Noise.
And while you're rolling initiative, give me a stealth check too.
I'm stealthy. Oh shit.
Nice. More stealth.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm dice dealing the die, just so you know.
I have
Saw that.
JL3, so.
Just let me know at the end of the session, because I'm sure that number will go up.
On probation. I'm gonna write down with what the other one rolled, so I don't.
All right.
What do you want first?
Thorn, I don't want stealth yet. I want to go around for initiative. Thorn.
12.
12 on initiative for Thorn. Silas.
5.
Thorn. Silas, then Gwynwyn.
11.
11. Not bad, Gwynwyn. We're going to go over to Ismini.
19.
That's big. Behave. Finally, Lilier.
15.
Dexterity modifier is higher than Fulguramar's, so we'll be going before him.
Should have been speedier.
That's so important. Okay. As you all begin descending here, what was the group's stealth check to determine surprise?
I got a 5.
Oh my gosh.
You know how the party keeps
I got a
at
6.
Silas for having bad stealth checks?
Mhm.
Math 20. Screw all of you.
15.
You rolled with disadvantage, correct? You're wearing heavy armor.
Same
Math 20.
Hella.
10.
10?
15.
Such a
15.
spiteful roll.
With disadvantage.
He's sleeping.
Oh, I'm not rolling for Fulguramar.
Kobold.
Kobolds is not a natty anything you need to worry about.
Sure.
Good
Like a
news,
shark.
bad news. There is going to be the surprise condition, but not for everyone.
That's fine.
All right. Ismini and Ililier, the boat begins to descend. So you've got Laurentius, you're actually technically...
Yeah.
Oh, so no, you're setting it and forgetting it. You're about to jump out. You've angled it already.
No,
Give
I'm guiding it. I'm telling everyone to jump off.
Okay,
I'm guiding
give
it.
me the athletics check with advantage.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Very bad for me. I'm going to go ahead and mark this here because that's going to be very important. Very embigant. Very important. We're going to start the round with Ismini. As you begin descending, let me go ahead and, because you are now closer to the ground, give you a couple more notes. Is he still visible? Nope, they are not quite backward. Oh no, he's visible. Cool.
Yeah, he's right there.
See 'em.
There's a small
Little
collection
speck.
of kobolds up here.
We still have a chance
Is
to
there a
adopt at least
baby?
one. Yeah, let's go find the baby kobold and
No,
take
I
him
meant
to his home.
dragon.
Please kill the baby dragon as your first target.
Those guys are off screen. I don't know if
There's
they need
the
to be on
baby.
screen. There you go.
There. Yeah.
Oh, it's a boo boo boo.
There's a teeny tiny baby dragon.
All right.
The fucker.
It's a pale lady.
I don't think we can adopt the dragon.
No, you can't kill children's parents. This is not Skyrim.
All right, Ismini, as you continue on your way down, you see that the little baby dragon looks up to you, seeing you guys come down, but is absolutely shocked by what he sees, and is going to act on a natural 1 initiative roll. He's the only one who's not surprised here.
Everyone's physical.
Am I allowed to attack? Are you guys cool with me attacking?
That will not affect anything negatively.
Okay, great.
The motion has started.
How far away are we from the big dragon?
Like
Are we
50 feet
Great, wonderful. As my action, I'm going to cast Chill Touch.
on.
The big dragon.
Dragon is currently prone. It is with so it's going to be with disadvantage. The range attack roll.
One of them was a natural 20.
Of course.
But the other one is
You're also in the sky.
a 14.
A 14?
Yeah.
14, unfortunately, is going to be a miss on full
Great, now
Fulgurama.
make me 2 dexterity saving throws.
You came so prepared.
Bad. Fail.
2 fails? Great.
Who is this for?
Big dragon. Melt minute meteors as a bonus action.
You're shooting 2 meteors
2
as a bonus?
meteors as a bonus action.
That's a great face.
It makes 2 attack rolls, not doubles the damage?
It's dexterity saving throws.
Oh, it's dex saves. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Make your saves. Or, sorry, I failed my saves. Make your damage rolls. All right. Ismini descends, a trio of magical effects all spiraling through the air, magic meteors and a spectral hand. How much damage?
17 points of fire damage.
17 points of fire damage.
I rolled really good on
almost-
4d6.
Yeah, it's almost max.
5, 5, 6.
I'm sorry. What level is this?
It's
He's unconscious, doesn't matter. Never
it's a
mind.
4th level spell.
You strike against Fulguramar, who like begins to stir. He's still surprised mechanically. And Ismini, where are you? What direction are you leaping? Gwynwyn, I'm assuming we're taking your reaction for Lilia's reaction.
Yeah, I'm jumping like this way.
Like here? Give me more words.
Closer to the arch. Here we go.
Nice.
That's where I want
Down. Perfect. We're then going to go to Lilia. Lilia, you cast Featherfall as Ismini jumps to all of the party getting affected. So sorry.
Oh, I didn't roll for him.
Have him go for you for convenience sake then this time?
Yeah, sure.
And who are you helping with Squawk?
I'm gonna help. Gonna help Silas.
Sorry, who are you putting this on? The dragon?
Yeah.
Cool. Our little bird goes and begins flying around, fluttering around the dragon's mouth.
Can Raunor run up and attack too?
So because of how movement works, it takes until the end of your turn for you to get to the ground.
Great.
Cool.
So he's just gonna hang out with me.
All right, we're gonna go to Ililie. Having used your reaction for Featherfall, it is your turn.
Yeah, pretty boring turn. I already have.
Action. Bomb, you said?
Yeah, action, put my bomb down, and then as I jump out of the boat, I'm going to ignite my weapon with acid damage.
Okay, weapon burst. Your radiant holy sword also begins sputtering caustic acid and just kind of splurting out. I don't like that verb. We're gonna go ahead and continue on. It's Fulguramar's turn.
Where are you landing?
Oh yes, where are you landing?
Where's the range I can land?
So it's roughly 60 feet. So roughly most of the map from where you are.
I want to land like right in front of Raunor.
Like here?
Oh, no.
You want to be close?
No.
Not in a line.
Yeah, right there.
That was most in the line you could have been
Yeah,
in.
it's not.
No.
Not in a line.
I want to be.
Clella, place yourself.
I want to be here.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry.
You can. Everything is always aligned, Victoria, as a reminder.
I know, but like, don't just line up like 3 in a row.
I'm trying not
It is
to, but also like there's a range.
Fulguramar's turn.
I need to
As a quick reminder of how the surprise condition works, on his turn, he wakes up, takes no actions, and loses the surprise condition. Which matters quite a bit for someone with legendary and lair actions.
Is he still pro?
Yep, he's still prone. He is currently, he was lying down resting when he was here. He's still clearly hurt, though appears to have healed quite a bit with his natural resilience.
Do you remember like 5 minutes ago when we were like, we'll take a long rest? Like,
Yeah, I missed-
absolutely.
I wasn't
Do you remember
expecting
No one
that.
ever
an
gonna
hour
fight
a
ago we were
dragon
Like, maybe we shouldn't fight the
This
dragon.
is fun because you're about to make everyone else place themselves.
Oh, cool.
So everyone place themselves besides Thorn, who will be flying where the boat currently is at the start of his turn. As the boat flies out and strikes against the dragon. Gwynwyn, where would you like to be?
Towards those kobolds, kind of that way, but not.
On the pillar, on the
The
ground.
pillar works for me.
All right, you land on this ancient dwarven pillar, slam. Oh, you know what? Let me put you a little closer to.
Winwin's good.
A little
back
bit more on camera. And we're gonna go ahead and Silas.
As far forward as I can get to the dragon.
Would you like just outside of melee range?
No, and melee.
Well, so because you're in the back of the boat,
Yeah.
you have your movement on your turn, so
Oh,
no
yeah.
problem.
Ever flanked a dragon?
All right,
This is not the plan.
This isn't awful.
flies,
We're gonna do it.
striking against the dragon.
Song is called Crossing Like Castle.
We definitely crossed something.
Now that he's awake, he looks up. What in the hell? As a massive boat strikes against him. As he does, you watch as he brings his wings up almost as a shield, using his mass. Like, even though these things are thinner than most of his limbs, you see that the bones and the components that hold up the rest of the leathery wings are reinforced, and is going to use his second legendary resistance of the day as he strikes against him. Connor, you want to go ahead and roll me 6d6 damage? I have dice for you if you want them.
I got plenty.
What about the bomb?
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and roll your bomb damage for me.
The bomb. How much?
You gotta write that down.
No. I don't have any of the spicy or sour bombs.
Do you have this written down?
She has
I can try to pull them up.
I don't remember what the spicy or sour bombs were.
I believe they're an alchemist fire plus a d6. We do need to get those on, like, written in your notes, though.
1d4 plus 1d6.
We should make a card.
1d4 plus 1d6?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and roll. Each of you roll me that much damage.
And then the original bomb that was.
Oh, I got the original bomb.
Great.
That ain't no problem.
6 per die. Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to add 10 to whatever you're doing.
23.
33,
9.
42.
3.
Hey, 45. Halved. That's going to be 22 points of damage. And his second legendary resistance.
Yep, that's more important.
Very important.
Where do
Almost
I
max
end
on
up?
that.
It's the start of your turn. You are flying.
Okay, cool.
You get the last push, angling it perfect because you're so close. Like the angling is no longer necessary, and you kind of flip in midair. If you had you chosen to not angle it, you would have been acting at the same time as the rest of them.
Yeah.
But he would have had advantage on that saving throw.
Cool.
All right, it is your turn. That was your action because you guided it manually. You still have a bonus action.
Can I move up closer?
I'm gonna need to get another flight stand because of you.
Sorry.
No. I don't have to buy anything. I have flight stands.
I'm out of
Lots
pixie
full.
dust, if that makes you feel better.
It lasts an
Go.
hour.
Make more friends with more pixies.
Let's go back to the Feywilds.
Maybe we don't. I'm pretty sure one of them has a coin
Perfect.
that I can't.
I got this in case a dragon decides to fly.
Smart.
All right, moving a little bit. Go ahead and place yourself. That's fine.
I just want to get within 60 feet. That's fine.
I'm trying to figure out how to.
That's
angle
perfectly
it
fine. I
without-
can
Sorry,
just move. If you want to move me back.
Oh, sorry.
One second. You're both moving off camera.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
keep on anymore.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was like, I need to.
I'll just be like right here. That's fine.
Sure.
There you go.
And I want to.
Bonus action.
Yeah. Can I still do quicken spell?
Yep.
Okay.
long as you have the
spell, fairy fire on the dragon.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
This is a spell, so it does have advantage on the save. What is this? Is Dex save?
Yeah.
18.
Ah, damn, passes. Okay.
Anything happen?
Nope.
It stands up. The spell shatters against it.
Well, go ahead. I would really like fairy fire to work, so.
That is going to be. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just re-rolled the full save in the wrong way. Would have been a pass because I re-rolled with advantage, but I'll just roll flat. 20.
Damn.
I do apologize, Chloe.
Yep. Fairy fire was absolutely worth getting.
Fairy Fire is a great spell.
Yeah.
A good call here. All right. Unfortunately, this prismatic light begins forming around him, and he raises his wings and shatters through the magic. You've all come directly to me. Let us finish this then. Begins rearing up. That is Gwynwyn's turn. Gwynwyn, you just landed on an ancient dwarven pillar from a society that no longer exists. What do you want to do now?
How far away is the Wormling and the Sorceress from me?
You gotta.
The Wyrmling and the two scale speakers are probably about 50 feet away, it looks like.
Yeah.
Can they make me dexterity saving throws?
Can you make me dexterity? No. So the two scale binders, 17 and a fail. 17?
17 passes.
So one pass, one success, one pass, one fail, and a 13 on the Wyrmling.
Fail.
Okay. So one scale binder.
So the one who passed
Still
takes no
speaker.
damage. The other
Okay,
one
no
takes
damage.
Acid damage.
Awesome. What are you casting, by the way?
Acid splash.
Acid splash. Perfect.
7 points of acid damage. Low.
7 to the Wyrmling, and how much to the other person?
7 as well.
Oh, it's perfect. Just wanted to check. Thank you so much. And that is the closer one that failed, by the way.
Perfect.
So you fire this out. The Wyrmling gets struck by this acid, and we're gonna go ahead and continue down. It is the kobold's turn. The kobolds begin freaking out. They don't get to act this turn. We go to Silas. Silas, you just landed in front of a giant dragon. He turns and looks down with you, and you swear you see a small grin form on his brilliant azure, toothy smile.
So, walking
like
up
that
to our
face.
sweet friend,
Okay.
I'm reminded of the blue dragon scales that we left back in the cart that were meant to be sold, and without really even thinking about it or controlling myself, I'm gonna ask him, how much do you think your scales are gonna sell for?
In the distance, you hear Thorn like, "Fuck him up."
All right, Silas, what are you gonna do for your turn?
She gave me advantage, so of course I'm gonna swing.
Yes, first roll you get advantage from Squawk. Squawk flies in. You watch Squawk peck at the dragon's eye. He pulls to the side, and Squawk kind of flutters off.
29.
29 is a hit.
Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 things.
Okay.
Goading Strike. So we'll talk about that in a second.
Oh, that's so good.
But I'm also going to be tightening my grip on the weapon, hurting myself a little, but hitting a little harder.
You grip, taking the nameless flail as a small spike goes through your pinky and pulls back out, needle length.
Oh my god, I had a D4 to the damage too.
No.
Just do attacks and saves.
Attacks and saves.
Oh, well,
You're fine.
it would have been.
Oh, you got I forgot you have a weird D4.
Yeah, I love it though.
Cute one.
We're a triangle D4 household.
We are 7, 13, 23 damage.
23 damage.
Can you make a wisdom save?
As a fail on his wisdom saving throw, he looks at you, furious, insolent. You think some merchant can claim my form?
Yes. That's why I'm selling your scales.
He rears up, furious at you. He's been goaded. You want to tell people what goading does?
Oh yeah, he has disadvantage on attacking anything other than me.
Very, very rude.
Now, you said he rears up. Is he still technically prone?
He is. You have advantage on all attack rolls against him. So your second swing.
Yeah, but I also, you know
What was the total
what?
damage? I'm so sorry.
The damage is 23 damage.
Thank you. Huge hits.
So this is gonna feel a little similar, but if this hits, does a... Why can't I do math? 26 hit? Oh, sorry.
It's 1d4.
Yeah, I'm never gonna remember that.
Yes,
Sure
that
it
hits,
hits,
Jake. You spiteful boy.
Yeah, you've hit me so many times. This is vengeance. This time I'm going to use the other and the final third maneuver that I got tonight. I'm going to maneuvering strike to let Squawk fly away. Get a little bit of it.
Squawk, you would know by now, Squawk has flyby. He doesn't take provoke attack of opportunity.
Oh.
He's not.
Oh, he's on an owl.
The owls have it.
I'm wrong. You're brilliant, and I got her character sheet mixed up.
I still get to add the D8 to the damage, though.
Yeah. So you're moving him up to half of his movement.
Yes.
Pulling him back here.
Yeah.
Here, he'll get slightly above the water, so he's harder to
He's
melee.
high up. He's gonna be
21.
fire breathing.
31 points of damage.
31 points of
That belt doing work.
With action search, do you want me to just roll these next 4 together?
Be next 2 attacks.
Oh, I know. It's advantage still.
You're gonna make 2 more attacks with action surge?
With using...
Silas shows up.
Ready to
Bam!
I know he's already...
Are
good,
you
but can I
hurting
do
yourself
everything?
each time?
Yes. I've taken 7 damage.
Make sure that you know which ones
7.
correspond to each other, but make your 2 more attacks. This is insane.
I am upset. And we're
This is
gonna
the
die.
biggest. I'm gonna keep track of this. This is gonna be the biggest single damage turn we've had.
Yeah.
Oh, natural 20. Everyone else has advantage on him until the next turn, too.
As you strike against him, he
So mad.
roars in pain. You hear this little the wormling call out, "Father!" from across the way. The wormlings the kobolds freaking out.
Do I double the damage to myself, too? I feel like I should.
So yes, you take both of these dice.
Wow, that was so sad.
It's one of the only times a level that a crit hurt you more.
10, 13, 23. But
You have one more
that's-
attack.
Yeah, I still have one.
Yeah, you do. That's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good, I guess.
I'm gonna add the D4 finally. 21.
21 is a hit against him.
I would hope so.
Yeah, right. Not by all that much. You guys already know his AC is 18.
3, 10, myself. That is going to be 22 more points of damage.
20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 96. That is 99 total points of damage for Silas.
I took 15
Damn.
too.
The crown.
You took
yours.
15 points of damage this
Yes.
turn. That's huge. Because I'm going to take a legendary action at the end of your turn.
Well, my turn hasn't ended. I'm gonna second wind and get the hell out of here.
Okay. Are you actually moving out of his range?
No.
Okay. At the end of your turn, I'm gonna use my first legendary action. Yeah, I've got to do it. I'm gonna actually. How big? It's 10 feet. Elle, why aren't you closer?
I'm strategic.
We will do this though. I'm gonna make a tail attack against you, Silas. I have disadvantage on this because I'm currently prone. He's laying down there. His tail lifts up and, like a cobra's bites, thwack swings it rapidly at you. The lower die, that's a 22 to hit.
Hits.
All right. Make me a strength saving throw. Oh, it's 2d8 actually.
Go ahead and re-roll that.
Are you okay? This is a good night.
Reroll my attack.
No, him. Re-rolling
Oh.
the save.
Cool.
Maybe the attack would have been better.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna add the D4 to this.
you need Flash of Genius?
It's gonna be 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
14 damage. Okay. And
And what's your save?
my save was going to be 15.
15 is a fail. You were knocked back 10 feet.
It's not too bad.
Okay.
Since you don't strike anything, you don't take any additional damage, but you are in fact knocked prone.
14 damage.
14 points of damage. 7 and 7. All right, that is the end of Silas's turn, and my first legendary action, it would be the Scale Speakers. They begin turning over, and you see they both pull up these small rods and begin trying to help and protect the Wyrmling. That is then going to be the Wyrmling's turn. The Wyrmling, seeing what's going on, just looks over, a little bit injured. Yeah, that's only option I have. I'm gonna go ahead. He's gonna fly over to Gwynwyn.
Hi.
and- Would you make me an athletics or acrobatics check? I'll tell you the DC. Natural 20. That is going to be 23 to beat.
Only a 15. So.
Only 15. Shoves you into the water. Shove you 5 feet.
Laugh at that.
I'm gonna go ahead actually, because of how 3D motion works, I'm gonna put you right there. All right. At initiative 0, the Wyrmling does not have multi-attack. At initiative 0, Gwynwyn, make me a strength saving throw.
Oh, you didn't choose bless. I forgot.
No, I'm not blessed. I got
I know.
healing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
A 1.
1, not a problem. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you are buffeted by the water, spinning underneath. You begin sinking down. The water is at least 10 feet deep. It's hard to tell as you're just barely having got in the water, kind of flailing around for a little bit. Maybe you'll figure yourself out on your turn. But that is going to be, at initiative 20, is the lair action of the dragon. Silas, I'm really mad at you.
Yeah, that's fair.
As you watch as Fulguramar beginning to raise up his massive form as his turn hasn't come up quite yet, you watch as he stares at you. I'm gonna need you to make me a dex save with disadvantage because you're prone, as a chunk of the actual ceiling falls. This massive piece of rock falling to the ground.
That is the second time this has happened to me tonight, and the third time this campaign where I've rolled the exact same number.
Okay.
Dex save.
Yes.
That is going to be, why is math hard? 23.
23 is a pass. You take 8 points of damage, halved to. Oh wait, I'm so sorry. You take no damage on a fail, or on a success, excuse me. No damage. As the rock strikes the ground, you look at it, like you roll out of the way, it would have fully dug you underground, and you would have been restrained. You'd been under the rock until you could remove it.
Just like imagining an elephant rolling down a hill now.
All right, that was the lair action at 20. We're gonna go to Ismini. Ismini, this dragon is ready to fight.
We all have advantage because of your crit.
You all have advantage on attack rolls because of the crit.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead.
Pressure feed's amazing.
And with my action, I'm going to cast Chill Touch again.
You?
No, I'm not. I'm not. With my action, I'm going to use my second level spell slot through Squawk. He eats another pepper.
Squawk
Nice.
takes another pepper, swallows this. You get a little a bandolier of spicy peppers.
Great, yeah.
Eats a little pepper. Squawk is now breathing fire.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do.
Is that an action for you to cast it this turn, and then it's bonus action on, or how? Remind
Action
me.
to cast it and get it used, and then bonus action on a subsequent turn.
Perfect. Although he's gonna use
He's
his.
his bonus action.
Perfect.
Or no, it's actually just his action for this one.
Yeah, it's an action.
It's an action.
Okay.
So he's
So he
gonna
can't
go
miss
and
fire.
he's gonna go breathe fire damage on the dragon.
I have-
Dexterity saving throw.
Yes, I make this disadvantage. I'm on the ground still.
Welcome to Action Economy.
That is a fail.
101.
As the breath of fire again.
Fire.
Of fiery draconic breath catapults over him.
9 points of damage from Squawk.
9 points of damage
And
from
with
Squawk.
my bonus action, I'm going to sling 2 more meteors. Please make me 2 dexterity saving throws.
18. Add a natural 1 to my thing, and a 19. So both of those are successes.
Great, so you take half of this.
Cool.
You're not still prone?
12.
I'm still prone. I made so it's
Dang, he rolls well. Yeah. That's fair.
That's 20 points of damage, so half to 10.
10 more points of damage. He's bloodied, guys.
I'm going
Nice.
4 meteors. I've used my second level spell slot. Squawk. Wait, I can't do Dragon's Breath because it's concentration.
Ah.
Concentrating on.
The
Which one would you like to maintain?
I'd like to maintain my meteors.
Cool. I'm gonna mark off this this damage here, and we're just gonna call that your turn. Like you have an idea. There's a moment of hesitation. I think that's a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Squawk begins repositioning. It's Meanie. I'm gonna go ahead and the end.
Oh no, it's not my end of my turn. Ralnor has to go.
Ralnor. What's
Ralnor's
Ralnor do?
gonna run up.
He looks down at Ralnor. What is this?
Oh, great. He doesn't even know.
It's a little turd.
Makes me feel a little better, right?
You guys are always just like, what is Ralnor? I don't know.
Ralnor is going to. Does Ralnor get blessed?
Yeah, Ralnor can add a D4 to his attack
Ralnor
roll.
is going to make a chomp attack.
He's gonna make a chomp attack.
With advantage, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
with
with
advantage.
advantage. That's cocked.
Yeah, just roll your 2 dice and your D4 at the same time.
Right. 9, 10, 11.
With advantage.
It'd be 17 to hit.
17 is a miss.
Okay, he's gonna make a horn attack.
He chomps, pulls back, and tries to headbutt this dragon.
That is 9, 10, 11, 12, 17 to hit.
Unfortunately, those both do miss.
This is the first time he's been in battle. Sweet
He's
guy.
fighting a
Baby.
dragon. He's a baby.
I know, but he's brave. Also, you should stand next to Ralnor.
Well, there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and I would know.
Is Meanie.
Same.
At the end of your turn, is that fair to say?
That's fair. We're good
I'm
now.
going to need both Silas with disadvantage, and I'm going to need Ralnor to make me dexterity saving throws. As the creature as Fulguramar pushes back with his wings, he's going to use a wing attack.
That's not bad.
No.
But it's not as good as it could have
It's going to be 13 points of damage on a fail.
You got a 15 so far.
15 is a fail.
Great.
18.
That is a success. You're going to take half that damage. Ralnor is knocked prone. He's going to go ahead and fly.
How much
Oh,
damage
that's
you
right.
say?
Huh?
How much damage you
13 points of damage.
Okay. That's what's confusing me.
Oh, half is
Oh,
6.
No, 6.
say? 6, round down.
It is not currently in melee with you because it only moved half of its movement. But I'm not going to try to put a flight stand next to a flight stand.
I'll
I get
admit,
it.
45.
I totally forgot that Squawk can't maintain concentration on spells. It's still my concentration.
It's still your spell. Totally fine. Absolutely something that happens. We're then going to keep on moving, y'all, and we're going to go to Ililie's turn. It's the last turn before the dragon gets to go.
Yeah, but he's 30 feet in the air.
Why he is?
Wait. I bonus action Misty Step on top to the dragon. I'm going to use my movement. Get right up.
No! Did you not learn anything?
No, never.
L. Should you try to do what you're doing, know that I'm going to be requiring you to make an athletics check.
Uh-huh.
And on a fail, you will fall. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
The DC is going to be 15.
Okay.
Okay.
Add a 4.
This is a skill check. Bless does not affect skill checks.
Never
Just
mind.
That is
Is
guidance.
it athletics?
Saving
Yes.
throws.
Oh, I'm getting so many of these back today, and I still have
I'm fine.
mine.
I'm fine. I got above it.
Perfect. Go ahead and put yourself up there. Just put your character in base contact with that dragon as you teleport up onto the dragon himself.
That was a bonus action?
Elle learns nothing.
Never.
learns nothing.
We're all good.
Are you gonna stab me?
Twice.
With advantage, so you roll 3 dice.
With advantage
Yeah.
and bless.
bless. Okay.
You thought I was gonna lose that
Blessed
one?
and highly favored.
2 18s.
Yes.
Two.
it
Yes. Can I just go ahead and roll a second?
hits. Roll the second one for me. Yeah, I'd love to get this. You're not gonna kill him. You don't know. You don't do damage.
Mark me down for that one. 16, 17?
Miss
Not.
That is a miss. Huge. Huge.
Okay.
Go back.
2d8. Do you need acid separate?
Acid. He is not resistant to. Go ahead and roll it all together.
10, 16. 16 plus 5 is
21.
21.
21 points of damage. He is still bloodied. He's not currently on death's door or anything like that. Anything else for your turn, Ililie?
That is the end of it.
Okay. As he is going to go ahead and continue flying around the room, let's go ahead. Yeah. Right here.
Peter.
We're going to bring Ililie right over here by the water. And we did Victoria didn't determine the exact positioning of it here, so I'm going to assume she chose not to be in melee.
She's
I'm
the
gonna
one
go.
who's under a line.
It's going to be Ralnor and Silas are going to go ahead and give me a save. But before, you know what? Oh, I was wrong, and I apologize. I'm going to go back a step. Sometimes we have to talk things out a little bit here. You're in his home territory. You've come here. You've threatened his son twice. I'm sorry.
Now someone's
What
even
was I
riding
thinking?
you.
Huh?
Now someone's even riding him.
You're right. I'm going to bring you right here, Ililie.
I mean, Gwynwen was just
Do
attacking
you have your
his
melee?
son.
I always it's my spellcasting focus.
Yep.
He wasn't in melee with me.
I'm going to ask the entire party to make me a wisdom saving throw as he roars using his frightful presence.
I'm underwater. How does that affect me?
So,
for hearing that?
if you are within 120 feet and are aware of
That is
it,
16, right?
you make the save.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have 16. I hit you down. I'm sorry.
Don't worry though, you're only the frightened
Oh.
only matters when you're in line of sight. We'll talk about how this works in a second. This is a fear effect, Silas.
16.
16 is exactly the DC. Pass. Thorn.
18.
Pass. Win-win.
11.
Fail. Fear runs through your body. Your blood runs chill. Is Meanie?
A natural 1 for a 12.
Fail.
Ralnor
Ililie.
does not make
19.
this-
Pass.
Ralnor does not make this save.
Ralnor refuses to make the save.
Ralnor does not need to make the save.
Ralnor is immune to frightened.
Ralnor cannot be frightened.
Brave boy.
Ralnor just looks.
Like
Ah!
you said.
I get that. That's
Also, the damage that Ralnor took earlier. What kind of damage was that?
I don't know. I don't know
The
when
lightning
you're
or
talking about.
something.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure when you're
was a-
referring to.
it
The
was a
wing
wing
attack,
attack, yeah.
is
magical?
bludgeoning damage. It is not his bite, claw, or tail, so it is not magical damage.
Oh, he takes no damage.
He's immune?
Damn.
You mean the non-magical damage?
Brave boy, tough boy. What
That
else?
is Ralnor. Once again, I reiterate.
My apologies. I forgot.
I'm so sorry, and I appreciate you guys letting me roll back
Thank
here.
you, thank
so
you.
go ahead, those who failed to save, which is Meanie and Gwynwen. Here's the exact effect. You may repeat the save at the end of each of your turns, ending on a success. You are frightened for 1 minute. You are unable to attempt to move closer to the source of your fear. It's perfect. You guys are ranged folks. You don't mind. You also have disadvantage. Let me go ahead and get the exact text here. I want to say it's disadvantage on attack rolls that may also be on skill checks. Actually, Connor, do me a favor. Do you mind pulling up the exact text of this for me?
I'm looking
For fear?
Yes, for frightened. Well,
Disadvantage, disadvantage to checks and attacks while the source of fear is in sight. Cannot willingly move closer to the source of fear.
thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and make my multi-attack here. Gonna make 1 bite, 2 claw,
Yeah.
and a tail
I
attack.
forgot I had that.
At who?
Oh, I've got 4 enemies near me.
Everyone but me has disadvantage on those rolls.
Yep, totally fine with that. Go ahead and first we're going to make a bite attack on Silas. When I use the big guns against you, I have advantage on this attack roll because you are prone. Silas, that is going to be above a 30.
Hits.
Yes, it does. We're gonna go ahead and
My 90.
you're gonna take a total of 14 points of piercing damage and 1 point of lightning damage. 1 claw attack disadvantage at squawk. 16 to hit.
That'll hit Squawk. He dies again.
It's going to be 1 attack flat roll because of advantage disadvantage on Ralnor. It's going to be a 15 to hit Ralnor.
That does hit Ralnor.
Does hit Ralnor. That is going to be 17 points of magical slashing damage.
Magical slashing damage. Okay, cool.
And then against
Taking the heat.
Silas, how you looking? You're looking fine, right?
I am at a third of my health.
You're bloodied.
I'm gonna hit Silas.
Yeah.
Damn. Hit
No,
me. Hit me.
No, I'm the one that's pissing him off.
I know. I have reactions to these.
28 to hit.
I think that hits.
Silas, make me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I bite you? I can't attack you with a tail attack.
Oh.
Ililie, I'm so sorry.
Let's go.
I didn't know that.
It's a natural 1. I roll more dice than y'all.
You're not winning this
Sound
competition.
defensive there, DM.
No, he's dead.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, that is Fulguramar's turn. So it's bite, claw, claw. Did not use second claw. The claw Silas.
I thought you clawed
Oh, claw
did.
bird.
bird
did, and Round
Claw
Round.
Round.
And
Perfect.
Round
Thank you so much.
Tails
We're gonna
down.
go ahead and continue on. It's gonna be Thorn's turn. Gwyn, when you're on deck. Thorn, what do you got for me?
Is he within 30 feet of me?
You can use your flight speed to get within
Okay.
30 feet.
Maybe
And then I'm gonna cast
Keep him. He's fine.
Hexblade's Curse on him.
All right. You activate your Hexblade's curse. What else do you have for me?
And
You mark him. Like you feel an almost magnetic pull towards him.
do I still have advantage on attack?
Until my next turn.
Okay. I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast on him.
Oh no.
Okay. 18 and a 23.
An 18. Those both hit.
Oh, never mind.
And then plus D4 or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You've got it.
I did have a
16 plus 10.
You all see as
Why can't I do
Laurentius flies down. You watch pulling towards him, like a hand outstretched,
32, sorry.
not appearing from his palms, but actually forming near his head. Bolts of eldritch energy fly down. How much damage, Connor?
32.
32 more points of damage. This dragon is in so much pain. He's in an incredible amount of pain here. Thorn, is that it for your turn?
That's it.
The dragon is going to go ahead and use it's going to use 2 legendary actions to wing attack once more. I need from Ismini, Ililie, Silas, and Ralnor to make me dexterity saving throws. Disadvantage if you're prone. Just Ralnor and Silas.
D4.
Oh, doesn't matter.
As it flies back up into the air with Ililie, unless you fail your save.
29.
You pass your save. You're only going to take you're going to take no damage. Oh,
I'm
No
decent
damage.
at Dex.
Ralnor got a 20.
pass, no damage.
9.
Fail, damage, and knocked prone again. It's going to be 11 damage.
7 for me.
7 for you. You're going to take 11 damage and get knocked prone.
Great.
Potions?
No.
All right. I know what I'm doing on my
You've been
turn.
using the same one.
Okay. Let's go to Gwynwyn. Gwynwyn, you are currently in the water. The water is moving.
Can I get to a rock? That's
If you'd like to make me an athletics check to swim, you absolutely can, because the water is moving. It's not quite as fast as the rapids, but it is still being pushed down. This river is heading eastward.
Athletics, you said?
Uh,
10.
What did you have advantage from? Just so I can.
No disadvantage because
Perfect.
of the frightened condition.
You were not in line of sight. You were under the water.
Oh,
What was the first roll?
the first one was a 13, so 16.
16's pass. All right. You can you move at half speed here. If you want to get to one of these nearby rocks,
Yeah, I
you
wanna
can
get up to
climb
the
up on either of these 2 points.
I'll get it to the bigger one.
Bigger one, excellent. That's your movement. And this worm is looking down at you. There's so much fury in his eyes.
You know, I'm gonna deal with the wormling. I'm gonna hit him with a firebolt.
Okay, are you using your non-lethal earrings or not?
Yeah, I'll use a non-lethal
All right,
earring.
bonus
They're
action.
big.
You crack one of these things. You pull this as you shatter one of these magical shards. Go ahead and make your attack roll. You form this arc as you conjure your spell.
Only an 11.
An 11, unfortunately.
Oh,
No,
you
I'm
didn't
not
get it.
blessed.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Also, as a reminder, you
You get
heal a
bumped back,
D4.
Yes.
Okay. That is unfortunately, yes, not going to hit the wormling. The wormling's an AC of 17. Gwynwyn, that was your action, your bonus action, and your movement. You're all good?
Yep.
We're then going to continue on. It's the kobolds. Kobolds haven't got to go yet. I'm very excited with the kobolds. The kobolds are going to go ahead and begin moving, charging over here. Unfortunately, they're quite slow. The kobold knight and 2 of his allies begin charging over this small rickety bridge. These 2 here, you can see, have a hard time moving through the sand as it is difficult terrain. Begin heading over here towards the rest of the party. These 2 the kobold scale speakers are on a different initiative. They are a separate thing. Additionally, you hear the shouting of kobolds off in the distance, but they have not arrived. We will then go on to Silas. It's your turn.
I spent half my movement to stand up.
You did it.
Finally.
What a man.
How high into the area is?
Dragon's currently about 35 feet in the air, because it is used. It's 80-foot flight speed, moves about half of its flight.
Okay. I had a really bad
Open.
idea with L. Would you be willing for me to have a really bad idea with Ralnor?
Great.
He has no hands.
He can't grab on.
Ah, that's fair.
Yeah, he can't grab.
No, okay.
You have to have him hold an action to bite. This is a reminder how that all would work.
So, I'm gonna go ahead. If there's anything at my feet, or if I still have ammunition for my sling, try to make 2 sling attacks.
You want to drop? You drop the flail to your side, draw out your sling.
Yeah.
Make your 2 attacks.
Okay. It's gonna be
These are just flat rolls,
flat roll.
each out of D4.
It's not gonna hit. I don't think no matter what. The first one was a flat roll 17.
Okay.
The next one was just it's cocked as heck.
17 is a miss.
The other one was only gonna be a 13.
Okay. Unfortunately, you throw these. You sling these 2 bullets up out of these stones. Unfortunately, you cannot quite get there. It shatters against the side of the dragon. Seems unaffected.
Can I use my movement to get to the corner over there to try to get some cover?
Absolutely. Moving over here, getting some cover.
Yeah.
Totally fine. And that will be the scale speakers. Scale speakers, seeing what's going on. Oh my gosh, we're such a bad place. Gonna move over here. This other one's gonna begin hopping over, trying to get back across. We'll go ahead and just dash for our turn. This one here is going to, oh my gosh.
Not line of sight? No!
This is so unfortunate. You're gonna need a +5 cover bonus. I'm gonna cast Lightning Bolt right here. Ooh!
Okay.
Ooh! +5 is from this. It's 3/4 cover. Make me a dex save.
No, I don't play
Why
D4.
do
I don't have the
always think
blast.
she does? You and me never understood.
Okay,
that.
this is only gonna do a total of 19 points of damage on a failed save.
Why can't I do math?
It holds up this magical rod.
18.
18 is a pass. You're only gonna take half of that. It's gonna be 9 points of damage
You're 10 HP.
as it
So my
fires
damage
against
is
you.
gone And I've lost 1.
And you watch as this guy, yeah, and readies the wand once more. Seems like he's quite tired from the exertion. The other scale speaker, Dash. It is this wormling here who's next to you. Gwynwyn, I'm so sorry to say this. I'm gonna need you to make me another dex save. Gwynwyn, this wormling look at you, holding on its claws, digging in, breathing its. Oh,
I can't make tech save.
girl.
Fine, I heal right now. I picked the healing option.
Hey, you got your.
Maybe I wish I picked the healing.
You got.
You're gonna
4
take
of your-
17 points of lightning damage as it breathes its lightning on you, and it just calls out. Do you speak your Draconic, Gwynwyn? It just starts calling out at you, furious. Yes, across the way you do hear this wormling. You'll leave. This is our land. You cannot be here.
I don't feel bad.
No one's in the river.
Why is this?
No.
Cool as a cucumber, Thorn.
That is gonna be Ismini's turn.
Great. So can
It's
you?
you and
make-
Ralnor.
Great. Can you make me?
Both of you spend half your movement to stand.
Yes. Can you make me 2 dexterity saving throws, please?
With which you're attacking a regular kobold, right?
No.
Oh no! Oh no! This is versus Melf.
Yeah.
First one. 19. Second one. 16.
Both pass.
Okay.
Only 9 on the dice.
9 points on the dice.
Yeah.
Okay. With 9 points on the dice, and this does it have any splash damage for this?
It's just a 5-foot radius, so I'm putting it.
Cool. No, he's big enough where you don't have to hit L. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Figured as much.
I'm gonna go ahead. How much damage?
That was 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage.
Halved.
Perfect. And that was your bonus action for your action.
For my action.
She's just loaded up on spells. You see that? She's just
still cast.
Can I ask you a real quick
Because
question?
that wasn't cast.
Right, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Scorching Ray.
Nice.
What was stored in your ring of spell storing again? Am I crazy?
I don't get to know that.
No.
They have 1 knock, but
Yeah.
I don't know. the rest.
I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray. That's
All right, fire your 3 bolts of energy. AC's 18 as a reminder.
really bad.
Even with if they're
With the D4?
you have the D4 as well.
14 is the highest one here, and then
Okay.
one more. A natural 1.
Okay. Silas and Ismini slinging all of their
That
ranged
was-
effects they can, but they're unfortunately not quite enough to get through this dragon's hide.
That was my last spell slot.
Ismini looking tapped out.
That was my last spell slot.
Ililie, it is going to be your turn, and then it's Fulguramar once more. You're on top of him. He's incredibly hurt, and I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Ooh, that's juicy. I'm going to hit 3 people next turn.
3.
Oh, that was my turn.
Oh, Ralnor hasn't moved yet.
Yeah, can Realmer go over to the kobold that's right there?
Oh no! You want to get in with both of them?
Yeah, I would like to.
Ah!
I would like to. Are these tiny creatures?
They are small creatures. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well he's gonna do a bite attack on the guy to the left of him.
Cool. Ralnor makes his attack roll. That's a hit.
Yeah, 21.
All right, go ahead and roll that damage.
Like counting on the hand so fast.
8 points of piercing damage.
8 points of piercing damage. Ralnor sinks his teeth in, kind of wiggles him around and tosses him to the side. You see he's incredibly hurt as Ralnor begins pawing at the ground. Horn attack.
20 to hit.
Go ahead and roll that damage. Ralnor makes his 2 attacks over at him.
7 points of damage.
7 points of damage, and Ralnor fully trampling over this
Ralnor killed a
kobold.
guy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Done.
Ralnor killed a guy.
Ralnor
You know, watch as Ralnor
murder.
fully rips the shield off this guy's arm, headbutting him, knocking him to the ground, then begins crunching through this metal shield and eating the dragon scales and the iron.
Okay. Gross.
He'll spend the rest of his turn eating his shield.
I know what Ralnor is.
Evil?
He's a goat.
That's gonna be Ililia, it's your turn. What do you have for me?
I don't have a ton of resources. I have a single arcane point. I'm on my weapon burst. I have a first level spell, so I'm just gonna whack twice.
Make your attacks.
I don't think it's gonna do it. 13, 16.
16's a miss.
16, 19.
19 is a hit. Roll that damage. Fulguramar getting so incredibly low. This dragon exhausted. I have to ask, is this lethal damage you were doing?
Yes.
Okay.
I broke that seal. Can't go back. 8 plus 5, 13.
13.
I killed Zarathal.
I understand.
Yeah.
You stab into him. He begins faltering, flying lower and lower. It looks like he's struggling to keep himself aloft.
I say calling us back and I'm like, hey, don't forget about me. Just kind of calling his attention a little bit.
I'm not goaded at the moment, correct?
You.
It's only until the start of your next turn.
I think
Because
you're
I
right.
didn't roll those with advantage, so.
Yeah, until the end of my next turn.
Cool. Ililia. It is now his turn.
Let's go.
So I have 2 real options. I can use my breath weapon, or I could deal with people. This is a difficult one for me. I've got 80 feet of movement, so I could hit Ismini and Thorn and L. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take a bite attack on you.
Okay.
If I hit you, you need to make me a strength save.
Okay. Just a melee attack?
This is a melee attack. If you reduce this to 0, I'll let you automatically pass the save.
Yeah.
Right. It's an 18 to hit you.
It's gonna match.
Okay.
Take a straight save.
Are you trying to reduce this damage?
Oh, I am absolutely trying to reduce it. Reduce deflect strikes.
15. So it's
10.
22 points of piercing and 8 points of lightning. So it's a total of 30 damage.
I'm going to get to 11, 14. Reduce it by 14.
14. So you're going to take 16 points of damage. Make a strength saving throw. Huh?
Good math.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was hard for me.
L, as this dragon bites you, your grip begins to loosen. Here, as you're hanging above the water.
Saves.
Save throw. Absolutely.
It's gonna be a 7. It's okay.
L is in
as
the
my
drink.
reaction, I cast Featherfall.
Splash.
You using your last spell slot?
You're falling in the water, though.
You're falling in the water. So you'll be taking 2d6
Oh.
fall damage.
Yeah.
Floosh.
I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
take it.
At least
You take 4 more points of damage. Dragon's going to continue moving. As it kind of glides here in the middle step, it's going to make its tail attack against his meanie. It's meanie. 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah. All right, Ismini, that's going to be a total of 15 points of 15 points of bludgeoning damage as the tail whacks against you and he continues leaping up into the air. Correct me if I'm wrong, you got within 30 feet of when he was standing on the ground there before, is that correct?
I think he was flying, but... Or maybe he was standing on
He was
I
standing because
couldn't really
it was
tell.
before he used his wing attack.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get right here. Make 2 claw attacks over at my dear friend Laurentius.
Have at the...
Laurentius. 14
That's a miss.
and a 23.
That hits.
That one hits. But the dragon missed you. I didn't actually think that was going to happen.
It's fair.
That's only 10 points of slashing damage. Nearly minimum.
First blood.
First blood, great. Gonna continue using those. That is then going to be Thorn. It is your turn. The dragon is in melee with you,
In melee?
flapping his wings at you.
Okay.
It hasn't seen you use your sword. You've only used magic.
Yeah, I'll bonus action cast Hex on him, and then I will take a swing with Booming Blade.
Make your save. Make a save with an advantage. Represent the last 2 rounds. Pass. You're no longer frightened.
A 15.
15 is a fail. You're still frightened. As a reminder, your attack rolls at disadvantage.
Yeah.
I was forgetting.
Connor, you cast Hex on him. He's been cursed by your Hex. As you're standing here, like it almost seems like the rest of this area goes dark, and you're just seeing the silhouette of this blue dragon making attacks.
Yeah, I'm swinging with my sword, Booming Blade.
Booming Blade. You've never released as much shimmering psionic energy.
21 to hit plus...
Yes.
24 to hit.
24 to hit. You strike at this dragon a single time.
Oh, could I have done it with 2 hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said before that because of the way your abilities work, you only 2-hand your weapons.
Yeah.
All right. Roll your damage. It's a D10 and a D6, I think.
D6. Well, D8 for the Booming Blade as well.
And it's 2d8 if I move, I think. If.
8 plus 13 points of damage.
Getting there.
More than getting there.
Oh, I forgot Hexblade, plus 3. So 16 points of damage.
We do a little bit of math real quick.
When he does math, we've done good.
I already cast something as a bonus action.
Hex is nice.
This creature, imbued with the power of these strange bleeding emeralds that fell from the sky, fills you with just such might. You look at this dragon, the two of you spiraling through the air together, your blade clashing against his claws. He looks at you, grabbing onto your torso, like as if you were a doll, like casually throwing you about. Reaches his head, you think for a moment to bite you as he begins charging his breath weapon, the spines on his back glowing. The two of these dragons dancing through the air, just delicate for a moment, this ballet, as your blade finds the dragon's heart. Now, as you stab into him, you have a decision to make here. You can push, use psionically, turn him around, and slam him into the rocks below, which, while defeating him, will be your non-lethal damage. Or you can find his heart. Laurentius, do you slay or dominate the dragon?
So this one's for Silas, and I'll stab him in the heart and kill him.
Okay, thank you all so much. I wanted this to be Connor making this decision here. We can go ahead and kill the battle map here. As you push the blade in, you hear this tiny dragon roar, fury in his voice, as the dragon, you and this dragon who had been kind of ascending as your fight continued, begin descending rapidly. Your blade, you're able to pull it down and kind of find hovering a bit above the ground, blade still wet with thick red-purple dragon's blood as it scratches into the ground. The kobolds around begin screaming. At the end of this round, you see what looks to be about 6 of them in this corner. Kind of look up, drop a spear on the ground. Tempest is dead. You see the little wormling, still very close to where Gwynwyn was, backpedaling on this stone tower, this fallen stone, ancient dwarven pillar that had crumbled here. You have to assume centuries ago. It looks at you, its heckles raised as high as it can, these large spines on its back crackling with energy as it tries to find the strength to bring another breath weapon out. But it's not quite there. Still learning how to use its elemental powers, it looks at you with such hatred.
You know, I'm floating in the water. But
Taking some time. This is
yeah,
rounds are happening. Taking some time.
talking to Wyrmling. If you like to seek revenge, why don't you go to talk to Industrious Ferret? He might be able to help you out.
He looks from you to his father and back. I don't want revenge. I want to bury my father with my mom. I know what you do to us,
Me?
you small folk. When you find your way to finally do better than you're supposed to. The rare moments when we fall, you hack us to pieces and wear us.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's our entire plan.
That was Gwynny's plan.
My horde is not here, and my father is dead. I don't need his achievements.
I get it. I really do.
You hear Elle is talking in Draconic to this wormling who seems to be getting slightly calmer. What is everyone else doing?
I'm dashing to the dragon to start getting its blood.
Gwyn,
I don't understand anything that
I
you're
was saying,
saying.
everyone stop.
Are you gonna explain to us what's
Crackle.
happening?
One sec.
The thing that will
Whoa! Crackling lightning. Gwynwyn, are you stopping?
stop.
If she says stop, I'll
Yeah.
stop. Move.
The thing that will prevent this dragon from hunting us down when it gets older is letting it bury its father.
Or we kill it.
Will it prevent it?
No, it's a child.
Hey,
It's a blue dragon.
Just killed its dad.
yeah, it's probably best we ended here, and that's coming from Silas. But if you bargain
If you
with
give
him,
me the opportunity, I would like to cast my last second level spell slot.
What would you like to cast?
Calm Emotions.
I will. The party gets to make decisions about this if they would like to make the save, or if they'd like to attempt to save or not.
I failed.
Just
to
on
save.
the baby dragon.
Oh, I thought it was a radius around you.
It is a radius, but it's like a. at
Oh, so
range.
Gwynwyn and the dragon make saves.
Okay.
That is a
What kind of
natural
save is
2.
I failed.
It relaxes briefly. Now, can you read the exact text of the spell for me?
I'll have to pull
Or
it
the
up.
spell from your spell book?
It just says 20 feet. Oh, it's all humanoids, so it doesn't affect him, right?
It doesn't. Have you ever
didn't
used
read
this
that.
spell before?
No, it's the first time. I
You
tried
want to have
cast
this
it
be
earlier.
you can calm Gwynwyn down still with it.
I don't think Gwynwyn's freaking out.
No, I was just gonna start going.
She just
over
got
to-
eager.
I just
So if you
didn't
are
read
moving,
it.
I need to know. 'Cause she's telling you to stop. If you continue, I am gonna breath weapon you.
If you told me to stop, I
Stop,
stop.
stop, stop, stop. In common, are you willing to forego the dragon's blood, perhaps in exchange for a horde?
She's a dwarf, of course she is. Again, in Draconic. we took a mountain that was once theirs, but it's ours now.
was
I don't care about
Was.
horde personally. I have to ask, why did y'all come here, of all places?
It wasn't safe in my mother's old lair, and I was too big for the nest.
I get it. Did you come from up north?
We came from the playground.
Oh.
King's Playground? I'm not hearing
Yeah,
this.
he flew. So basically, there are islands to the south of Eltz in the massive gulf known as the King's Playground.
I mean, I'm not hearing
And
it.
it wasn't safe there anymore?
Soldiers have been coming.
Imagine you're not the only dragons that have fled.
Not common to get multiple dragons on one island. Father drove away any lesser dragons who came by.
I'll tell you, the council is not a bad place to go. They'll help you out.
Council
Whatever it
didn't
is.
even know where my grandpa is.
How would they? Unless you tell them. Yes. He obviously speaks common, right?
He understands common.
Can I relate?
If you'd like to be translating, you can.
I'll relay the information in Elven.
I speak Elven.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Silas.
Everyone but, this is like
I know
everyone
Elven.
but
Yes!
Silas cannot
It's
understand.
everyone but
Yeah, y'all have a language Silas isn't getting. That's rude. Should've been learning.
That's right. We got Dwardish.
But sort of,
barely.
I feel a little weird that we killed his dad.
I don't think we should kill the baby.
I don't think we
It's a blue dragon, though.
I ain't killing
I
the
believe
baby.
the council can do amazing things.
Why didn't they do
Look at what its
amazing
dad
things
did to this
instead?
area.
Yeah, but
I mean, my only thing was that the dragon was amassing an army. He hadn't hurt anybody yet, but he has a literal army.
And was
No.
could have.
so let's remove the helm.
The small scales won't follow me.
Elven too. Jeez.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. No, that was just a DM mistake. He
Oh,
does
okay.
not
I
speak
was
Elven.
like, wow. 3
No. He
languages.
speaks Draconic and understands Common.
Okay,
Yeah, I won't be killing any children.
I won't either. Sorry, Gunman.
I think we're making a mistake letting a blue dragon get away.
I will do what I can to recommend it.
Make a history or medicine. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. A history or Arcana check.
Me?
Yes.
Wait.
This would be the advantage because of your uncle.
What's the number?
And I get a.
Nope.
Nope.
That's
a
for
skill
his
check.
saving.
What's the number?
I rolled 2 5s, and then that's a 14.
19.
19.
Are you within?
A 19.
Yeah.
This wormling is
Thank
3 years old.
This is a baby.
His father, for frame of reference, is somewhere between 400 and 500.
This is a baby.
How is it gonna bury its dad not here?
I don't know. Do you want to help?
We are letting a blue dragon go. A species of dragon that historically have caused lots and lots of damage.
I say we let him go.
What of the dwarven massacres? How many of your kings have worn crowns adorned with the scales of my people? I'm assuming this little kid is trying. They're intelligent. He's not like a 4-year-old human. He's probably like a 16-year-old comparatively speaking.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna float
we
down and
have
take a seat
all-
next to Silas.
Y'all jump in.
Through this.
Father's conquest failed. Let me take his body home.
We just wanted these people to be safe. I'll reiterate once again. After you bury
I
father,
never hit-
the council is a great place for any young dragon to go. They want to unite dragonkind towards good. I mean, what's better than that?
Make a persuasion check, Lilier.
Sure. 11.
Okay.
Not great.
It looks at you just for a long period. Will your potion bender turning me into a cape?
She will not.
Just begins kind of timidly, like take a little bit of flight and just heads over towards Fulguramar. As he does, he lands, looks at his father, and then lifts his head up high and turns over. You see a little bit westward towards the wall, the under wall of that cavern. He kind of gestures his head towards this fragmented dwarven archway, and then turns back to his father.
Thank you.
It was the logical thing to do. Silas, you've got some feelings?
Sorry.
I don't speak Elvish, and I don't speak Dwarvish, and I don't speak Dragish. I'm just gonna go through this little area. Itsbury was sleeping. I'm just gonna just dig around while I'm awkwardly in the corner by myself.
Sure, you're kind of like looking around. You do see that there's a collection of, there are these, they're not soft, but there are these smooth stones from the riverbed that have been placed here to give us a much more comfortable arc to this ruins wall where this dragon was resting. It appeared to have been cooped up here. You do see that this was clearly, like there's some scratch marks where it was made to be essentially a comfortable place of rest for this dragon, having been set up probably relatively recently.
If I could, mind leak with the dragon before he leaves?
The dragon's not leaving. It's currently curled up next to its father.
I'll just say, my condolences. I know what it's like to lose a father. And if you want revenge in the future, come find me.
Before you lay 2 paths.
As he kind of looks around for a little while, like you see, at first he focuses on Silas, like thinking it's Silas, but Silas is just investigating. Does he meet eyes with you?
He can respond.
You feel the venom for a moment. Perhaps.
Put it in the book.
In Elvish, I'm gonna
Silas?
tell you, you owe me dragon blood.
I won't.
Probably.
sleep tonight.
You can,
Silas,
you can get an
I-
incredibly small amount from his sword unless he doesn't let you,
Yeah.
because it's part of his packed weapon.
I am really sorry that I let the baby blue dragon go. I'm just saying this to you directly. I don't feel good about killing kids.
I don't feel good about killing the dad either, though.
I know
What if
your
you made him go
sentiments,
away?
but Elle, there is a reality where this dragon might not go to whatever council you were discussing.
but I
There's
did
a
what I could.
reality where the dragon kills children himself. I hope you recognize that.
I'll be writing a letter.
Okay. You did the kind thing, and I will not fault you for that. But
Killed
please.
I appreciate
Sad.
it.
No,
I'm writing
we
a
didn't
letter.
have
A
to kill
reminder, what he just told you was his conquest won't be complete without him.
Right, I
What is
know, but we didn't know that. He had an army.
He had an army that
You
were
fought an army
worshipping
before coming
Tiamat.
here.
Bad.
I know, but
No.
I, Victoria, will always feel guilty for.
You love the dragons.
I always feel guilty whenever we kill a dragon.
They are smart.
I feel so guilty.
Half of the things we kill are smart.
Can we ask chromatic
Baby
dragon
dragon.
that had an army? Gwynwyn
Sure.
does not feel bad.
We're about to be
What about
coming to the
Yeah.
end for the night. What
What
is
is
it?
60 kobolds?
Last question. Do you have a name you're willing to share? A name you're willing to share. Not your name with a capital N. I don't know what you're saying. We know where his voice.
He thinks for a moment, then looks over. You see the underside of his father, who's like laying on his side, breathing, having long since stopped. And you see scratches, kind of burned into the underplates of this dragon. There is a number of this old blue dragon.
Huh. Full circle.
And it
What's
simply
the number?
says 53. Now it is in Elvish.
I can read it.
And he just repeats the same number you see there. 53.
I'll let him know.
As this wormling looks at you, the party has access to a dragon's hoard nearby. But we are going to be ending our session here. This treasure
So he didn't share his
will
name?
have to wait. He did not share his name. He simply said a number that was marked
Dragons
on his
get
body.
weird about that stuff, though.
Their names are very important to themselves.
Oh, that was on the...
That is on the adult dragon, but he just read what his father's number
Okay, gotcha.
was.
Can we have 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Just 5?
Just 5 more minutes? What do you want?
To
Is it
go
the
into
loot?
a horde.
Is it made? I
As
just
you-
want to know how big it is.
As you begin heading towards that archway, you see that despite the outer appearance with Gwynwyn's stonemasonry, you see it looks like this has been intentionally made to look much more damaged than it was. As the pristine hallway leads somewhere we'll talk about next Friday on Stories to D4.
No, you can't. I am a loot goblin.
There are
Dare you?
pages of loot. Like, what are we gonna do? This is one item. What are we gonna do, guys?
Teleportation magic.
So
You know-
Ralnor.
This is completely outside of Silas's character, but let's go kill more dragons.
Is Ralnar a
Ralnar's
storage
fine.
device?
No, I mean Ralnor. We learned a little bit about him today.
Ah.
Immune to non-magical damage.
Nice.
There was something about a grandfather being missing.
And a 400-year-old dragon didn't know what the fuck he is.
He can't be scared either.
He can't be scared.
That's interesting. Right.
Wild.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I have to say, Connor, just way to go. the role play of everyone at the table. I really hope all of you give yourself a pat on the back, a clap or two. There's some incredible stuff. I loved your dance, your dragon dance you did up in the sky.
Last dance I'll ever do.
Oh, look, the man with his charisma, absolutely not.
Never say never.
That's a man who's gonna waltz one day.
Careless whispers is in my head. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Silas, Ililie, your conflict, and it's delicate resolution was very fun. Quinwin, I love throwing people in water, and you and Elle both helped me with that today, so I really appreciate that.
Careless whisper.
Victoria, you were here too. No, I absolutely kid. You did some absolutely phenomenal usage of the manipulations of the action economy. Your spell casting here was incredible, and you're always a treasure to have here running some allied NPCs. With that,
Also, Fireball.
also Fireball. It was
yeah.
nice to see a wizard today. I didn't ask how big the army was. I said I cast Fireball.
I think I'm in love with the spell Minute Meteors.
Yeah.
It is great.
Yeah.
Fair.
Great spell.
'Cause it's still just
It's baby Crown of Stars.
It's been
Yeah.
Crown of Stars, and I love Crown of Stars. But it's
You
meteors circling around your body.
Well, I think we should talk about those meteors and maybe some upcoming one-shots this Sunday, live on Twitch. We hope you'll come and see us. We really appreciate you all stopping by. If you like what you see here and you want to support the channel, why don't you go ahead and drop us a sub here on Twitch. We're trying to hit 30 by the end of April, and we'd really appreciate anyone who can help us out at reaching our goal. Thank you again. As always, I'm Matthew, your Dungeon Master. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.